Creepshow, the most fun you'll ever have being scared.
Creepshow 1982. Sadly enough, it only gets a 6.8 out of 10 on IMDb.
For horror, that's good, though.
Yeah, anything above 6, right?
I bumped it up while I was there earlier.
Huh.
Nice.
So it's 1982, guys. The 80s were the golden age of horror. And this is, you know, I guess it'll really all start in 78, but it really got kickstarted in 80. And now we're riding the good portion of horror. You know, after a while, anybody did it, and it got a little watered down, and there were more misses than hits. But in 82, when he had real, like, sort of talented people involved, things were still going to turn out pretty good. So, who are the people involved? Can we name everybody? Let's say.
You could name like a good 8.
Go ahead and talk about the people, Dave, because this is... Oh, well, you know, when we did a top 10 horror, we all picked our top 10 favorite horror movies, and Dave had Creepshow in the top 10. So, Dave, you're the authority. So tell us all the talents that are involved with this movie, and what role they played in the movie.
Feel free to jump in, but off the top of my head, Leslie Nielsen, Ted Danson,
Naked Gun, Cheers.
Oh, yeah, man. Sorry, Ed Harris, isn't it?
I don't know who that is, but...
Guess what, Alex? I didn't either. I just knew him from Creepshow.
What is he in? What does he do in this movie?
But I know that everybody else...
He is the son-in-law in the very first... In the bald guy... Or, no, he's not bald.
He's balding.
Actually. But,
the blonde-haired balding guy. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, he is in Creepshow, not anywhere else.
Well, Alex said, who is he in this? So
I'm sorry. Okay. I didn't hear that. That's why I said, who is he? Okay.
Why do they do it?
Why do they do it? Hal Holbrook, Adrian Barbeau.
Now, Hal Holbrook, I know him.
Most importantly, there's George Romero, who directed it, and Stephen King, who wrote it.
Yeah, I know. Like, I'm wondering why Dave went right to the cast.
And Tom Savini, who did the makeup effects.
Did the effects. I mean, this is crazy.
I thought you asked the cast. I'm sorry. I thought you said who's the cast.
No, I just said who are the people involved and what did they do, and you went right to like Ted Danson. I'm like, what the fuck are we doing here?
Warning, listeners, we have forgotten how to podcast.
Guys, it's been 4 months. We're clearly rusty. Holy shit, we're mentioning the guy from Naked Gun before we mentioned George Romero.
I swear I thought you said the cast. And I'm like, okay. Off the top of my head, I said, you know.
Jamie's like, what the fuck are we doing? Are we going to mention these people?
I said, feel free to jump in.
I was like, and I kept that in mind. And I was like, well, he said jump in, so I'm gonna. Because these are some major players here that we can't just
gloss over.
Oh, yeah, and oh, by the way.
Yeah, oh, by the way, did we mention Stephen King's involved?
Fucking Ed Harris, Alex, and I don't even know who he is. It's like the second name I said. Yeah, we got Ed Harris.
Oh my god. This is going great, guys. This review is gold already, I can tell. Okay, so we got to do a lot of... by the way, Hal Holbrook, he's a very famous old guy actor. He was the mother of Gemma Teller in the father of Gemma Teller in Sons of Anarchy. This is going really good.
And Adrian Barbeau was the mother of, what's his name? The crossdresser.
Who's that?
Sons of Anarchy.
Oh, yeah!
Yeah, man.
Wow.
Those two always are on screen together. It's the connection we talked about way back on the Banana Laser Thing show.
Yeah, we mentioned that?
Or The Fog. Yeah, they're always around.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, Adrian Barbeau, Jax Teller blew her head off.
Mm-hmm.
That was awesome. Wow, I gotta watch that again.
But yeah, Stephen King wrote every fucking thing here.
Yeah? Everything?
He wrote them all.
Yeah, these are all his stories. And they actually, I read earlier that when they were going to do when they had discussed filming this, if They're Creeping Up on You was going to be too ambitious to film, like if they weren't going to be able to do it the way they wanted to, then they were going to replace it with his other story, The Hitchhiker, which actually ended up in Creepshow 2.
Now, which one is They're Creeping Up on You?
The very last one with the bugs.
Oh, okay. Wait, if he didn't get to film it, they thought it would be too hard to get those bugs to do what they wanted?
Well, they ended up spending, get this, they had 250,000 cockroaches at 50 cents a piece. So they ended up spending $125,000 on cockroaches alone.
50 cents in the 80s?
Yeah.
I would imagine they'd be like 6 cents.
Yeah. I mean, they're easy to, you would imagine they would be easy to breed because, the old saying, you breed like cockroaches, so.
Yeah, they're easy to cultivate, right?
I would think. You just kind of drive through New York and...
Yeah, and flip over any mattress in any apartment building.
If you can, there's a documentary on Creepshow called Just Desserts. And
Where
it's
is
real
that?
good.
Is that on the Blu-ray? 'Cause I have the Blu-ray.
Yeah, the UK Blu-ray. I'm not sure if it's Arrow. I think
I have that one, I think.
Whatever one it was that came out in the UK, I have it as well. And it's the only place that has it, but it's a really good documentary.
I wonder if I watched it. I might have.
Oh, you should if you have it. It's really good.
Okay. So we get, you guys heard this in the beginning of the show, actually. We paid, we did this intro back in 2012. The amazing, the incredible, the unbelievably talented icon of the 80s horror movies. He wasn't in enough of them, unfortunately, but he is the man, Tom Atkins. George Romero, I believe, called Tom Atkins and said, I'd like you to be in this movie I got, Creepshow. So he sent Tom the script, and he read it, and I believe Tom, and in our interview on show 33, so if you want to listen to Tom Atkins' interview with show 33, he said that he would like to be, he wanted to be the story 2, where the guy touches the meteor and grows the green shit all over him. And then George Romero had to go, yeah, actually, Stephen King wants that part. So he goes, I really wanted that. So
well, then let me slap Stephen King's son.
So then he goes, what I'd really like you to do is the father in the beginning of the movie. And then, Tom Atkins knew it's a bit part, but it's a couple dollars. Probably got paid $5,000 or $8,000 for it, But he said, okay, it's a job, whatever. So he played the father role. But oh my God, did he play him so amazing? What an opening scene. Buddy boy, if I catch you reading crap like this again, you won't walk for a week. And then he goes, what do you say? It's like it's not any worse than the books you read, those sex books.
Yep. And he gets a smack.
He goes, in your drawer. And you know what the funniest part is? When I was a kid, my dad had those books in his drawers.
Yeah, I think a lot of them did.
Yeah, it's a classic 80s, 90s move. So he slaps the kid across the face. He goes, he's not only a something, he's a little sneak too. And he goes, it wasn't like that. Mom told me to go get your cufflinks on Sunday for church. For church, I guess. So then, they just gloss over that. And then, he throws the book away. And then the kid goes, I hope you burn in hell or something like that. It is like the greatest. And the kid is the worst actor in the history of the planet.
Well, because he's not an actor. I mean,
right.
Who is this kid?
That's Stephen King's son.
Oh, that's what you meant. Oh.
That's Joe Hill.
Jonah Hill, because he can't act either.
Joe Hill. I read a story about where he took him, during filming, Stephen King took him to McDonald's on a break, and he was all, like, he had bruises and stuff all over him and scratches, like, makeup-wise. And when they're in the drive-thru, the chick in the drive-thru called the cops.
Awesome.
Because she thought he was abused.
Wow. And what...
But that's Savini's makeup,
Oh, because after Tom Atkins smacked his face, they did put a thing across his face.
Could you imagine Jordy Verrill being played by friggin' by Atkins and Stephen King and Atkins' role? No way. And Atkins is perfect as the father. And Jordy Verrill, I can't imagine anybody else but Stephen King doing it. I can, but you know what I mean. That's the only, if Stephen King's going to be in the movie, that's probably the only part he could play.
Right.
So,
well,
it kind of makes sense.
Unless he was like the janitor of the the crate.
It would have been completely different. It would have had a completely different tone.
Right. Exactly.
I can't imagine it at all. Isn't that weird?
Well, I tried just because I know that story. And yeah, I force-fed myself the idea of it. And yeah, Jamie's right. It's the tone is so different already. Because Stephen King played it like he's like a cartoon character.
Yeah, he was a goofball.
Tom Atkins couldn't do it.
Well, yeah, like Romero asked him to play it like he was Wile E. Coyote.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. And like have the facial expressions that he has, like when he falls off a cliff and stuff like that. Like he wanted it to be over the top and cartoony. And
he did it.
And he did it. He nailed it.
That he did. I'll give him credit for that. Yeah.
So after that, we get to this amazing scene. I always love this scene. Something about this scene encapsulates what a real horror fan is to me. So Billy's in bed, and he looks out of his window, and there's a creep outside of his window.
He's so cool looking.
That is the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life. And as a horror fan, and you know, sometimes when you're horror fans and you're watching movies from the 80s, your brain is sort of going back to those days. So now I'm like like an 11-year-old Alex watching this, and watching this creep in the window, and tell the kid, "Come here, horror is cool." I completely buy into this, and I'm like, yeah, I would totally go along with this. This seems normal to me,
No, the kid's smiling. I love that shit.
Right.
That he's not afraid of it at all. He's, completely on board. He looks at him. He's got this big grin on his face, and the thing looks at him. Oh, that's so cool.
Well, it encapsulates all of us because that's how we view horror movies. Most people go, ugh, that crap or whatever, and we look at it and we put that smile on. Thank God, not on our actual face, but underneath our, in our minds. That's how we're smiling when we see a great horror movie, or we know we're in store for something great. So that whole scene is like amazing to me, just for so many levels, and it might not even show up to most people, but I think that whole thing through. So let's get to story number 1, and we're gonna rate each one of these stories, and then at the end rate the movie according to how we rated the stories. This is an anthology film. Anthology films, of course, as everybody knows, is a horror movie that has multiple stories that last about 10 or 20 minutes, sometimes more, and it makes up the entire movie. And they usually do that through, they break it up in chapters, usually as it's someone telling stories, or in this case it's a comic book with multiple stories.
Very few tie it in together this well. That's what it is.
Yeah, this has an excellent wraparound that brings everything together. Where like in VHS, like the VHS series, the weak point of most of those films are the wraparounds, because it's just, they may as well not even be there most of the time.
All right, guys, so we're going to review each story and give a rating out of 1 to 5. Then we're going to take those ratings, add them up at the end, and tell you our overall review of the movie and the rating from each of us. So the first story, you might as well call it Father's Day. Do these stories have names, by the way?
Yes.
Okay.
It says right on the page of the comic book, actually.
Oh, I forgot to write that down. What is
Father's Day.
Oh.
It's Father's Day. You're right.
There you go.
Yep.
So what ended up happening is, some cool older chick tells a wife of, I'm sort of I lost track a little. The husband is the one who's not in the family, right? Because the woman is in the family.
It's an aunt and her niece and nephew, who are brother and sister, of course.
Right.
And then she just married this new guy
who's a famous guy, apparently.
Ed Harris.
Ed Harris, right.
Yep, that's him.
So And believe it or not, I've never seen this guy in anything else besides this. So maybe I'm crazy.
Me too, man. So whatever.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
So they're talking about this father of this young lady and her husband.
No, they're talking about their great aunt and what happened between her and her father.
Okay. What happened was the father killed his daughter's boyfriend for no real reason. He killed him. I forgot.
Yeah, jealous.
Oh, he shot him in a hunting accident or something.
Yep, had him shot, had him whacked. Yep.
Right. Then they say that the daughter was pissed and killed the dad for doing that. But in my estimation, I think she killed him because he's insanely annoying.
He's an asshole.
He's an asshole, banging. Where's my cat?
You bitch!
You bitch! Where's my cat? Come on! Like, I would have fucking killed. Like, I don't understand why it takes killing your boyfriend to kill him. That's the weird part. You could have not even told us that, and I would have been totally on board with the story. Right? I mean, do we have to get a motive here? I mean...
Well, it just shows how depraved this fucking guy is and their fucked up relationship. And they did it in a short time, you know? It's a 20-minute fucking feature, and we learn all that in just a couple of scenes.
Yeah, because that cool chick was telling the story, yeah.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, so... every Father's Day, the daughter who killed the dad shows up to his tombstone, and this time she's drinking Jim Beam. She's still talking to him like he's an asshole and stuff. What do you guys think? And this is a real creative decision. This does not happen in any other movie. What do you both think of these strange cutouts? Like the outside of the screen is black, and there's these strange designs, and within it, the movie is going on when it's flashbacks.
Jamie, you can go first, because I'll just rant. I'll just fucking rave about it. I think it's amazing. So,
this is honestly my favorite segment.
Wow.
Awesome.
Yeah, it is. It is infinitely quotable to me. My mom and I, and it's because this is one of the movies that my mom and I share, and this is one of the segments that we quote from the most.
Awesome.
And it's just every time for instance, every time we would stop at a traffic light or a stop sign or anything like that in the car, one of us would go, screech to a halt, as they say.
They say, I do it.
And
I love that line.
We do that shit all the time. I mean, it's just like this stuff is just constantly. I would always do the Ed Harris dance, that little like where
Don't let go.
Where he does the head thing. I would always do that, and my mom would crack up. I mean, this was something that was very personal to us, and it just is, and there are little things that I always think about, like if I see somebody leave their car door open, I think about this because it bothers the shit out of me that she leaves the car door open when she gets there and then she goes to the cemetery. She just leaves the car door hanging open. Mm-hmm. Little things, I don't know. I know it so well that those little things just stick out to me.
They do that in Creepshow too also, right?
What, leave the car door open?
With the raft.
They do with the raft, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yep. And that bothers me. I hate that. I hate that in movies. They do it in Halloween. Yeah. When they get there in the van, and they get out to go into the house, they leave the door open. I'm like, what the fuck, Bob? Close the door.
Well, he's too busy talking about raping Lindsay.
Yeah, right.
Yep, idiot. This movie is so quotable, beginning to end for me. I'm right with you, Jamie. But I do it by myself, and no one knows what the fuck I'm talking about.
Well, I mean, now I do because I'm not with my mom anymore. Like, I'm not. We don't hang around anymore.
Right.
But the other day, I forget, I was talking to her on the phone like last week, and I forget what line it was, but she threw out a line, and it was from this movie. And she's like, what movie is that? And I was like, Creepshow. And she's like, yes.
Did she say, is that the one with the Draculars?
No, that was my grandmother.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I think that the father looks fantastic. I mean, the special effects in this are so great.
All right, what do you guys think of that really deep post voice they give these things with the gargling voice?
Awesome.
I love it. I love it. I mean, it makes me want to clear my throat. It's very. It's pretty good. It's very uncomfortable for me to listen to, but I like that. I mean, I like that. You know.
Oh, it's amazing. At the end, when he laughs after he kills the second guy, and he does that laugh, that shit's awesome. That deep in fucking voice. He's just laughing to himself. So creepy.
Yeah, that's good.
It's
stuff.
great.
It's funny how they give that voice to the other people too. It's funny. It's like, okay, so is every monster in this movie can have that voice?
Oh, you mean the other people with their waterlogged
water people, yeah, waterlogged
voices? Yeah, it's kind of like that, but they're more waterlogged.
Yeah,
rightfully so. But I love it. I fucking love it. God, and everything about this, it shows off so well because this is your first foray into this. So after the amazing opening, you fucking go into that, and the way the lighting is and the soundtrack.
Oh, the lighting in this movie is really good, and it's better on Blu-ray.
Oh, it's amazing. It's the color palettes. I don't know how you even describe it, but the way they use color in this movie, it's like watching fucking Suspiria.
Right,
I love it.
There's a lot of red and blue in there. Jamie, this movie is what? Jamie, it's what?
It's beautiful. It does have a fantastic comic book inspired color palette, much like Day of the Dead. You can see if you watch this and then watch Day of the Dead. Day of the Dead has a lot of purple lighting, a lot of green lighting in the caverns specifically, and so you can see that Romero was going through this phase like right around then. Like this was a thing that. Or say right around then, they're like 3 years apart, but it was, it looks like a Romero film, I think, for that reason.
Oh, yeah.
It's great.
So, like I said, she's talking to the dad, spills the Jim Beam. I guess he drank it and then came up out of the grave. And she was like, holy shit. So he literally the dad comes out of the grave. It's funny because he was completely incapacitated. And basically bound to a wheelchair and was helpless when he was alive. But now that he's dead, he's able to climb out of the grave and he could just do whatever.
Only you would think about that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's funny, though.
He has more ability now. And then...
Yep. And his hand comes up so fast. That scene is awesome. How about it? She turns for a second, puts her hand on her face, and boom, doo-doo, doo-doo, doo-doo. Oh, that fucking shit. I love that. Man.
And he chokes her out. So now we killed the daughter, they killed him.
Snaps her fucking neck, dude. Doesn't choke her out. Oh, no, I'm sorry. My bad.
Yeah, she gets choked, yeah.
I was thinking, yeah.
And then the famous guy goes out, and he wants to have, like, a cigarette or something. And he's outside, he's drinking, and he says, well, let me go find this aunt. And he goes to the grave. I guess they all know where it is. Which is bizarre in itself. Why is there a cemetery outside their house where their dad is buried? Like, how many people's dads are buried, like, 500 feet away from their house? Like, that is the most bizarre setup I've ever seen.
Right? I guess if you're super rich, people do that. They have a private house, lots of acreage, and they have a private family cemetery.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I guess.
That's what I took it as, that they fucking, that some filthy rich people can do shit like that.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's their family plot. You know, that's their
yeah. Why take a ride? Why drive to a cemetery when one right in your backyard? You know? They should put up McDonald's in the backyard while they're at it.
Now listen, I buried my cat dog in the backyard, but I don't know about my entire fucking family, but okay. I guess it's okay. But
yeah, you got fucking Rex right next to fucking Nathan.
Yeah, I buried my goldfish here, but I don't think about my uncle. But okay. So they buried everybody there. So he goes and he looks for the aunt who's, you know, he knows that she's at that grave. He sees the Jim Beam. He can't resist. He goes to take a swig, and I think his foot falls back or something. Then he falls. And then he looks up, and he's looking at this tombstone slowly being pushed towards him to land on his head. And he's staring at it as if, okay, I see this. I'm just going to be really still, and then I'm going to pull away. Nothing will happen. But the odd thing is he never does anything. He just stares at it as if he's like, okay, it's getting closer. Okay. Like, dude, as soon as this thing moves at all in any way, shape, or form, why are you not leaping as fast as you can out of the way? I don't know what he was doing, but he just stood there and laid down the whole time.
He kept getting shocked, dude. That's what happened. The first time he was about to sit up when it first started to move, and the first thing he did was grab fucking Deb Bedelia's hand. And then he was like, and that shocked him. And then he pulled her over almost on top of him. Then he looks up again, and the fucking old man's coming at him walking. And then he's like, again. You know?
Oh, okay.
Then he falls back down and looks up and sees it moving, and yeah, it does go. I always thought that was funny. That I'm like, dude, why not move? But at least they kept him occupied a little bit, and I guess you can always use the old excuse that he's fucking frozen in shock at the whole situation.
Just like Vicky, yeah.
But still, I mean, he does go on there a long time. That music's awesome though. Ding, 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 ding. Oh man.
So then the cool chick. She lets her hair down. It's the end of the night. So she goes into the kitchen. I don't know for what reason. She sees the muddy footprints. And then she sees the maid squashed between the door. And then the maid falls down. And she turns around and sees this dad. Now he's in the house. And he immediately grabs her head and just twists it, man. And just snaps it. And we have no idea where it's going at that point. We just think she's dead. And they go into the kitchen, and then the dad, who's a zombie, is walking towards them with a big plate, and it's finally I don't know if we expressed this enough or at all because I was doing an impersonation, but what he kept saying was, "Where's my cake? Where's my cake? It's Father's Day. Where's my cake?" He comes out, and the cake is there, and it's the head of the cool aunt or whatever who he twists her head off. And put it on there, and that's the big.
Oh my God!
Do you guys think that was a good decision to put those graphics behind these people's heads when they saw the reaction?
It was awesome. I fucking loved it. Loved it. It adds to this movie.
Yeah, because it sticks with the comic book theme. That's the whole point.
And it looks so good. It's so colorful and so fucking. This movie is fucking. It's ingenious how they do that shit, and it's a one of a kind movie because of it. It gives this movie fucking its own charm. It's amazing how they do that. And even that scene when that girl goes into that room, so looking for that lady, Mrs. Danvers, and she goes in that room and it's all quiet and that room is all blue. The lighting is amazing, Then she goes in there and all of a sudden. She's like, Mrs. Danvers, and then her head presses up against the window, the old lady, and they play their music again, boom, da-dum, da-dum, and then all of a sudden the door opens and the guy does that shit. That whole scene is fucking magnificent. From the lighting, the way that blue light looks, to the music they play, everything.
Yes.
It's, I love it.
Yeah, now you're making me want to watch this.
Oh, you were supposed to have watched it for the
I'll watch it again and again. Yeah, didn't you watch it, Jamie?
No.
You didn't?
No, I
can't stop watching it.
I do not have. I didn't watch it. I've watched it recently. I haven't watched it. Didn't watch it specifically for this. I absolutely do not need to. But now I want to.
You should get the Blu-ray. It's amazing. It's so much different.
I'm pretty sure we have the Blu-ray.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
It's so different.
It's awesome. And the way they snap her neck and the sound it makes is fucking awesome. And the cake where they cut. I love it. I think everything about this is amazing. So you can't get me to say an unkind word about this. Not Father's
What
Day.
if I twist your arm?
What if I twist your head?
Yeah, like that guy did.
All right, well, I give this a 3.5 out of 5. I almost really like this.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
Yeah, really good rating. So, what do you guys give it? Oh, wait. Oh, you think that's... No, I thought that was a good rating.
Oh, I get it. You mean almost really like as in almost a 4. As in 4 being really...
really like,
okay,
yeah.
I was like, it was like, I almost really like this. I don't really like it, but almost. This one is a 5 for me. It's my favorite. It's my favorite segment. I wouldn't change anything about it. I love it, love it, love it.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's a 5 for me too. It's amazing.
What? Wasn't that great?
It's incredible fucking filmmaking. That's how good it is. I adore it. I love it. And this isn't even my favorite one, but yeah, I love it.
Wow, and I feel like I enjoyed this. But I don't think it's that
It's
great.
okay.
Wow.
Well,
It's so unique.
when I was going through and rating these segments, Brian was fighting me on every one of them. Like he was just like, no,
knock
that's
him
better
down a little
than
bit.
that.
Yeah.
Well, like this one, he's like, it wasn't that good, and then like on another one, he was like, it was way better than that. So it's everyone's gonna have their own opinions.
Oh, the style is
like that.
Okay, so let's go to the next story. Now, Dave, what's the name of the story?
The Lonesome Jeff. Yeah, Jeff. The Lonesome, the Lonesome Death of Jordy Verrill.
Jordy.
Yeah, Jordy. Jordie.
I thought you said Jody.
Oh, if I did, it was an accident. It's Jordy.
Maybe that's just his accent.
Jordy Verrill. Yeah.
So this story, as everybody knows, is a meteor lands.
Meteor shit.
Meteor shit. The meteor lands in this guy's backyard, and he touches it, and it burns his fingers, so he gets blisters and stuff. But then he comes up with this brilliant idea to throw hot water on a thing that is probably hotter than anything else on the face of this planet. So clearly it cracks open, and this meteor shit comes out of it, this blue shit. And he dumps it down, and some gets on his hands and stuff like that. And then as he's burnt on his fingers, he keeps putting his fingers in his mouth. He has no idea what he's dealing with, basically. So, because he's an idiot. He plays a moron. This is Stephen King playing a buffoon who is in a farm of some kind, and he's in the middle of nowhere. He doesn't seem to have a neighbor in the world. So he does that, goes in the house, and he watches WWF wrestling.
Yep.
Which I'm sure Dave loves.
Yeah, it was Bob Backlund versus one of the Samoans. Yeah.
So then he grows moss on his fingertips where the blisters were. And then he starts having these daydreams of going to the doctor, what the doctor would say. He had daydreams of bringing the meteor in and getting $200 for it. Because he's a moron, doesn't realize.
To the Department of Meteors. Because that's a thing.
Yeah.
Hey, does he keep dreaming about the same guy?
Mr. Verrill. Yeah.
This is going to be extremely painful. Oh,
yeah, what is he, like, hot for this guy or something? Like, what's the point of having the same
Okay, well,
guy?
that was the limit of his imagination. He just kept, he has one guy that he pictures as being every authority figure.
Every authority, right.
yeah, there you go. That's good. And you don't have to pay more than one actor.
Yeah, thank God he has such a limited imagination. Oh, the place he lives in, by the way, is Castle Rock, which is the same place as Stand By Me.
Oh, a lot
Same place as a lot of Stephen King stories.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Yeah. This is one of the first ones, but yep.
Yeah,
it keeps coming up.
It was Derry, right?
Oh yeah, Derry too. But that's
Derry.
Bangor, Maine.
Some of that Derry air.
Do they say that in that movie?
Yeah.
Okay, good. They should.
They said I want to breathe in some of that Derry air.
Okay, otherwise they missed the boat on a good show. Okay, good. Glad they did.
So basically, there's really nothing to this. I mean, there's not much to talk about. We could zip through.
Everything grows. Everything fucking grows. It becomes Greenland, including him.
So Stephen King, eventually Jordy commits suicide because he can't take it. And I'm gonna agree. Most people, they shy away from suicide and promoting it, but in this case, I think Jordy did the right thing.
When I was a kid, I used to think that he was trying to get the stuff off him, and he was using the gun to blow off certain pieces of the of the grass, and that it was bad luck that he killed himself. Because he says, please.
Well, that's extreme.
Well, why would he have to pray for fucking good luck when he's going to kill himself?
I don't know, but that's like trying to swat a fly with a flamethrower. Like, what?
I know, but that line just didn't make sense. Please, God, just once. He did do the voice in that one too, Alex, by the way.
Well, he meant, let me get it right this time, as in let me actually kill myself. Because
How hard can it be? It's a fucking gun and it's a head.
Well, because it happens all the time that people shoot themselves and they fuck it up, and they don't actually kill themselves.
Yeah, how do you know where his face was in all that mess?
How about this? Check it out. How about he sees his father in the mirror, right? And guess what? His father, isn't he the same guy that was the fucking
Oh God, is that guy again?
Same
Yes,
actor?
which
So
is
basically,
exactly why he sees him as every
Oh
authority.
man, am I
you know,
stupid?
we tied it together somehow. Yeah.
Wow.
So it was him. It was always his father as the authority figure. So
You're the asshole.
yeah.
Wow.
You know, there's comedy in this, obviously, and it's just King hamming it up because he can, because he's Stephen fucking King and he wrote everything. He's like, I want to do this, so he did it. You know? But I'll tell you what, if he didn't do it, I couldn't imagine who else would. I mean, you know? Maybe Ernest from Ernest Goes to Camp or something could pull it off. I don't know.
Kane Hodder could probably do it.
Yeah. I don't think honestly, Stephen King, he did have a...
Kane Hodder, I know.
He had a range of emotions. No, does he? He did have a range of emotions, though. I mean, I'm not saying he's a great actor, but he did pretty good considering, I think. I mean, he made it entertaining. And, of course, everything else about it was entertaining. The lighting and the soundtrack, as always, which is a constant in this film.
Right.
And that's all I'll say about that. I don't want to gab too much. I just love this movie, so it's
No.
gonna happen.
It was good. And I remember you saying this is your least favorite story of the whole movie, so I'm excited to see what you rate this.
Me, I can't go too low because I love, like I said, the production values are amazing, and I still get some joy out of it. It's the weakest, but I'll still give it a 4 out of 5.
What?
Yeah, man.
Oh my God, you guys.
How do you not fucking marvel at the production of this movie? It's amazing. The soundtrack and the
I
colors.
do, but
It's amazing. Its originality and it's the comic book gimmick. It's a masterpiece. I can't say enough about it.
all right, Jamie, what do you give it?
It's interesting, Dave, because this to me is also the weaker one. And I also give it a 4 out of 5.
Oh my God.
Nice. See, Jamie's with me.
Well, I give it again a 3.5 out of 5.
Wow, you have this tied with Father's Day.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, hey, that's not a bad thing.
All right, so the next story in Creepshow is called, what is it, Something to Tide You Over?
Yes.
Yep. Wentworth.
Yeah, Wentworth.
I love Leslie Nielsen in this role. He steals the whole fucking show. So I'm big on.
He's so good.
Oh my gosh, he's so. His delivery. He's like my favorite villain. Like one of my like the way.
And I love his fucking house.
Oh
Yeah, it's nice, right?
Wow. Yes, it's awesome.
I love his hi-fi equipment too. I mean, he is so on top of technology. I mean, the quality of the picture of that TV is incredible.
How about when he talks about it right away? He goes to the guy's house and he hooks his shit and he goes, you know, I'm surprised you didn't notice that you have inferior picture here. And he goes, these wires are loose. Oh, he's so great in this role.
Your coaxial cables are loose. Like, I love how there's a difference in quality with those TVs. Like, it's so funny because, like, we're, like, laughing about it, but people probably did notice a difference in quality with even those TVs.
No, you had to be like a tech geek. You know what I mean? You had to be really into that shit at the time.
Yeah, right.
Are you kidding me? When I was a kid and I was just happy when the picture stopped rolling so I could watch a show. Like we had to turn on the TV 10 minutes before we wanted to watch something just so it could warm up.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That makes it sound like I was a kid in the 50s or something.
I know, it does. Like, even I'm starting to wonder how old you are.
Did either of you guys have that cable box back in the day where you had to press the buttons on the box to change the channels?
Yep.
Yeah. And that thing on it was kind of like a what's that piece on your mouse called that you scroll with?
I don't know what it's called.
I thought it had a name. Okay, well it doesn't have a name. Okay, well you know that thing you scroll with on your mouse. Did you guys have that thing, that cable box that on the right there was that thing and you kind of had to adjust it?
Yeah.
yeah, I did. Yeah.
And I remember when my best friend's dad had a VCR that had a remote control, and it was so exciting, but the cord was only about 4 feet long.
Oh my God.
And it was a corded remote, so it was just you still had to get really close to it just to use the remote. And like, what?
You couldn't even make the cord long.
Right? Why would that be so hard?
We're still having that problem today with video game controllers if they have a cord, or if like the charge cord for them is only 2 feet long. Oh. But yeah, I remember, and it was so high tech, like it was so like top of the line and solid state.
No, it was. You could be 4 feet away from your TV and still control what happens. Wow.
Oh shit. Yep.
Yeah, so he's all into the technology. I don't even know what the point of all that character part is, except for I think that what we're establishing here is that he has the means to be able to record people in the middle of the beach. I don't even know what other reason we'd be talking about his savviness for.
Yeah, because I mean, shit back then was really expensive too. So they had to establish that he had money and that he was in that kind of thing, because you wouldn't have that many cameras and stuff unless it was your thing. I mean, because you're throwing a lot of money at it, and plus, he had that whole private beach. Which was really cool, which allowed him to do that, because it's not like you could just go down to the beach at like Daytona and dig a hole and throw somebody in it.
He has no privacy.
He's eccentric. That's what it is. Like even like later on when he's watching the video and the girls in the video drowning, and he's talking to he's talking to Wentworth, and he's like, fucking, oh, look at the quality of that picture, isn't that great? He's all into it and shit. Oh man, but man, what an idea! This is what's brilliant about this episode. Aside from Nielsen's performance, the idea that King came up with. Who would fucking look at a beach and think about that as a method of killing somebody? I think that's so amazing.
Yeah, and for him to know, when the tide comes in and then when the tide goes back out, it'll take the body with it. I mean, that was very well thought out. It was a well thought out plan.
Was it? Because you see, I saw that as a flaw. I thought that was the dumbest part of the story when he's like, yeah, the tide took him out. Like, really? You really think the tide took out a body?
Well, I mean, if you think about it, I guess no. I mean, if something was shallow, then yes. But I guess for something to be deep enough to have a body in it up to their neck, it would have to be buried pretty deep, and then the sand would get really packed. So, I guess he was just convincing himself that's why they weren't there.
Yeah, that's what he was doing.
That was, exactly. But
otherwise, what could it be? Nobody wants to go and be in that position and look and say, "Oh my God, they must have got up and walked away." So
yeah, I know,
he's
but
reassuring himself that he's like, "Oh, it can't be. The tide must have taken him out."
I love too when he's describing what it's like, and about how you're gonna have to. I think it's really scary the way suspenseful, the way he's talking to him and describing. Oh, you have to catch a breath really quick, yep. And he's like, and then just making it that much more horrible as he's watching his lover go through this. He's describing to him what she's going through. And then, of course, he's thinking about the fact that I'm going to be going through this too. It's just, it's...
Yeah, that part was that really got to me, because you see it and he's thinking, oh, wait a minute, this is my life in about, an hour. Well, it happened in less time, though.
And when he realizes it, when he's like, when he's explaining it to her, when he's explaining it to him and everything else, and he comes to the realization, he's like, oh my God, you are crazy. He's like, oh fuck, this is real. I'm fucked now. This is it. He's like, he maybe gave him the benefit of the doubt at first, but then he came to that realization that he's going to be just as fucked as the chick is. Oh
yeah.
Scary.
Let's go back to the beginning, though. Like, when even Leslie Nielsen goes into his house and confronts him, when he answers the door, he literally plays it off like he has no idea who he is or why he's there. He goes, all right, pal. But, I don't even know what he said.
Mister.
Yeah,
right. He goes, that may work in the movies, mister, but I can bench 300 pounds.
Yeah, that was horrible, man.
It's so 80s, right?
Yeah, right. You'll be missing a foot if I slam this door.
And Leslie Nielsen's like, don't give me that, mister. He goes, you know very well who I am.
Yeah, he's like, all right, yeah, I'm banging her wife. I guess I'll fess up. I don't know why couldn't just come to that realization right away, but But here's what's really insane. You know, I don't know. This is super subtle, and I wonder if you guys picked up on it. I never have until, you know, every time we watch something, we watch it with different eyes, which makes it a cool experience. See, I always thought, you know, you don't really realize you're doing that, and I think that's what makes like a horror podcast more entertaining to a listener, because they probably didn't think of these things just like we didn't until we watched it for a review. So I think that's what makes this whole thing work. And what I noticed is that when Leslie Nielsen walks in, he puts like a tape recorder on top of the wine glasses that were on the table that this Ted Danson and Leslie Nielsen's wife drank out of.
I don't know if I've ever noticed that or not.
Yeah. Like he puts it on two wine glasses next to each other, and clearly it's them two.
That was theirs.
Right. And as he does it, he knows, it's cute. You and my wife are drinking wine. That's nice. you know, it's like right, so. What a touch to think about.
Wow, dude, I've seen this so many times. I fucking love it. I can pretty much quote it almost word for word, and I have never noticed that little thing that you mentioned.
Yeah, I thought crazy.
Amazing. I thought there was no way you were going to tell me something that I hadn't noticed. Like I was sitting here fucking saying, oh yeah, whatever it is, I'm going to know it. And sure enough, leave it to Alex. Awesome, man. That's so cool. I never thought about it. I never even... Wow, that's crazy.
It really adds such a depth to the whole thing.
How long before either of you realized that was Galen Ross playing his wife?
Oh, right. I didn't know that when I was young. And I figured it out like at some point over the
Yeah, it was a while ago, but I mean, obviously, but I was definitely an adult before I put that together. Galen Ross is the woman who played Fran from Dawn of the Dead, and so that's where she was blonde in Dawn of the Dead, and that's where everyone, like horror fans, will know her from. And she's been in some other stuff too, but that's mainly her. That's her big claim to fame. When I was little, I actually thought that was Shelley Duvall.
Oh, I can see that.
And, I mean, because every time you see her, like, her hair's all stringy and wet and everything, and I always thought she looked like Shelley Duvall, pretty much how she looked in The Shining. Like,
right.
Well, if it was Shelley Duvall, Leslie Nielsen would have said to her, I'm going to bash your brains right the fuck in.
He probably would have said to Ted Danson, just keep her. An olive oil looking bitch.
You olive oil looking bitch. Yeah, it's crazy, you know, playing this up. But how about this? Another thing, another throwback, you know, because we don't reference it enough in every single show. How about the killer drives a Jeep again?
Oh, yeah.
But what was the make and model?
I don't know. Yo.
Oh, yo.
That I don't know.
Jonathan
I'm
Orr
looking
knows.
at you, Johnny Gore.
Oh, yo.
Right. That... I like to call this place Comfort Station. When he's talking all that shit to him, it's great.
I think that's a great name. I love that name.
What name?
Comfort Station.
Right?
Like that.
I want to have a place and name it that someday.
Yes.
That's how much of a geek I am about this fucking movie, and this chapter in particular. Oh, dude.
Right now, I'm building a man cave. Do you think I should call it Comfort Station?
Oh,
yes.
If you're not going
Make a sign and put it on the or above the door or something.
Oh my God.
But it's so funny when he is like what you said earlier about when he's talking to him and talking about the girl and everything, and he's like you just got to keep your head. He goes, now it looks like she's losing hers. That's gonna make it harder. He says.
Yeah, I like how he knows the whole process of this.
He's condescending.
I wonder how many times he's done this.
Yeah. Now, listen, what she's about to do here, watch how much worse it turns out for her, because, you know, the other 40 people I did this to. It's like, how do you know that anything does anything? But, yeah, he knows. Just because, you know, and that's actually a strike against the segment, because he should have been a normal guy that was pushed over the edge because his wife is, you know, blowing another guy. Like, this should have been totally out of character for him. But instead, they ruined it and acted like he's so savvy about it already, and he's so sort of jaded at this point. He's like, you know, watch this. She's going to struggle. It's actually going to make it worse for her. Like, okay, I understand you're trying to drive the point home that you have zero sympathy at this point because of what she has done. So you're really trying to get that across to us, but you're doing it in sort of the wrong avenue. You're doing it as if you've done this before, which should not be the case.
Yeah, but it's common sense, though. Anytime you're going to drown, keep your composure to prevent yourself from, you know what I mean? It's kind of common sense shit. If you keep your cool,
right, it's
going to be better in any situation. Life, you know, a life situation, life or death.
Yeah, like getting in quicksand, they say the same thing.
Right. So I think it's great. I love the way he says it, and just the way he delivers those lines, because he's actually witnessing it with him. He's watching it happen. He's like, and I assure you, you know, this is on record. This isn't play. I'm going to save this.
Yeah, I'm going to see this in high definition.
I guess we kind of get an idea of how many times he's done before because he has all those videotapes.
Right.
And that sort of gives you. I like the fact that that this is who he is. He's kind of like a mob guy, you know, like you don't fuck with him. And then you're thinking, Ted Danson, what are you thinking? Like, she had to have told him at some point how fucking crazy her husband was.
Do you think it's better for us to imagine he was pushed over the edge this one time, or that he has done this a bunch of times and has a collage of tapes?
I kind of like the character, how dark his character is, knowing that he has a history of just being a fucked up guy. I mean, I see your point too, but I guess really for this segment, it doesn't change anything for me one way or the other. Like if it was his first time, then I would like it just as much. But I like the fact, I think that sort of lends him a sinister air. You know, like a heartless, cold-hearted. I mean, because if he was a husband and he just snapped, there would be a lot more emotion involved. I think, you know, it would be he'd be, you know, crazy. You know, but this guy is just cold and calculating.
There's just one moment where he's looking at probably her, and he sort of has this look of, you know, he was enjoying it, then that one moment comes in where he sort of feels bad, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I don't know, like, so there's a dichotomy there to the entire situation.
Two things. Number one, I don't know if this is not his first time. I think that it may very well be his first time, and all those videotapes he has are just because he's a tech guy and he videotapes everything. And remember, he has all those things in his house. He has all those cameras, and they're probably recording. So I don't know if the implication was that it was his first time or not, but I don't think he gives a fuck about his wife at all. I don't even think they even say, he goes, if you ever loved her, you don't love her now. And he's like, and he even says, he goes, the subject of whether I love her is irrelevant or something. He goes, but the subject of what is mine.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not saying it all, he says. That's what it is. It's his. I don't even think he loves her. He just happens to be married to her and doesn't like the fact that you know, this is happening. So
yeah, it's a property thing. It's a possession thing. He may as well have stolen his car.
Right. That's what I think. He's just fucked up. He's just like, what's mine is mine, motherfucker. And if you fuck with me, you're gonna pay the price.
Did you adjust my seat? It took me weeks to get it that way. And you changed my radio stations? All right, motherfucker. Wait till this wave comes in.
Remember, and he even says something later, and he goes, "If that maid has been touching my stuff again, I swear." It's like he has everything in a certain spot. Maybe that's maybe that's why he says that, because he's going through his videotapes and he thinks that something is off at that moment. So
yeah,
I don't know.
Right.
And also that's where you get the ashtray, by the way, next to his bed.
Oh yeah, right next to his bed.
Yep.
He's clearly OCD. You know, I mean, this guy has issues with control. I think is really, you know, he is in control of all of his possessions, and that includes his wife. And he doesn't like it when anyone messes with any of his possessions, whether it be his wife or his videotapes. You know, he's the kind of person that I don't see how she stayed with him as long as she did, even if it was...
It's for the money.
You know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but that can only go so far, though.
Yeah, but people marry Kanye West?
Yeah, now he's begging for money, so...
Maybe it's a father figure type thing.
Right, because he has premature gray hair. Yeah, I can see that.
He's older a little bit. He's got money. Maybe once upon a time, they had a good relationship, but now he's just too fucking, You don't care.
And now he has just an amazing 480 TV, 480p.
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah, I always thought Leslie Nielsen was a good-looking man.
Oh, he's so hot.
Yeah, he was. Like, when he was really young, he was good-looking. When he was, I mean, like, right before the end, he was still a good-looking old man, you know.
Are you kidding? When he pushed O.J. Simpson down the stadium steps in a wheelchair, he was so hot. That was so hot when he did that. Seriously. It really was.
So that's how he got with Priscilla.
Yeah, that's how he okay, let me look at my notes. We really just been talking, and I haven't looked at anything I wrote. That's how easy this flows. Would have been cool if Ty drowned the drove. Oh yeah, this is funny. Yeah,
Alex, he reads his own writing like he's reading fucking names for the stars of the movies. That's just how he reads. He's like Jason Lloyd talking, you know. I fucked her, you know.
She's 16 years old. She's too old, man. Once they get the license, they don't give a shit. No, what I said was in my notes that it would have been cool if the tide dragged the TV and it smashed into his face. So stupid.
Ted Danson's face?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that would have been cool. Insult to injury.
Like, instead of just drowning, wouldn't it have been cooler if the TV was just like pulled and it went and like popped into his face?
Ordinarily, I would say yes, but every time I see that fucking scene, because my big fear is fucking drowning. That's my thing.
I know, me too.
That fucks me up.
I dream a lot about it, and I gasp for breath in real life.
Dude.
And I wake up.
Don't tell me, every time you see that scene when his head is fucking there and he lets out those breaths, and even I still feel for the actor. I still feel for Ted Danson.
Yeah, because he was really underwater for that.
Yes, I mean, his head's obviously in like a fucking tank or something, but still, one little thing goes wrong. I don't know, that shit fucking, like, I would never go scuba diving. I'd be afraid of the fucking thing breaking, and I don't know, that shit just...
Well, they probably have it so there's an emergency thing where he could pull something and it makes the whole thing fall apart and then the water comes out. You know, there has to be something like that.
Yeah.
And that water is so perfectly clean for him to be opening his eyes and his mouth. You know, he sure wasn't underwater in the ocean.
It's awesome. It's a great shot. It just makes me uncomfortable every time I see it. Like, I'm right there with him. I'm like, oh, man, I hope that's never me. That's like what I think when I see it. I'm like, oh, man, that's awful. So on top of everything else I love about it, that I really dread the outcome when I see that. Oh.
You know what? I heard that when you actually go to inhale that one last time, you don't really inhale the water. That your larynx or something closes, it just tightens up and closes, and you just become asphyxiated.
Huh? I don't know.
And the way water gets in your lungs is after you're dead.
After you're dead, it loosens up.
Yeah.
Huh?
Wow. Who told you that? Ted Danson?
Yeah, he told. I asked him. So what happened that day? And he said, "I don't know. $20 for an autograph, asshole."
You know what freaks me out the most about that situation is I can't stand being immobilized.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, if I can't stand being...
Wait, Jamie, come on. You're going to tell me that Brian never handcuffed you to the bed.
That's different. That's different. But I can't stand being pinned down.
Hey, now.
Or
It's getting hotter and hotter.
wrapped tight in something. You know what? It freaks me out. So, like, I had to have some ultrasounds done several years ago, and so I had to be perfectly still, and I had to lie on this table and be perfectly still while the woman went back. She had to go into this little room and do the stuff and then come back out. And she's like, okay, now don't move. And she's like, for like 15 minutes. And I was like, what?
Wow.
And I was starting to freak out. Like, it was just, and it was wide open. It's not like I was in like an MRI or anything where it gets claustrophobic. The room was wide open. I was just laying on a table. But the fact that I had to be still for that long started to freak me out. And I was just like, I can't. And I started to shake. And it just, I don't know, it makes me nuts.
They couldn't come up with a better system? Like, why couldn't they, like... or even a quicker system than 15 minutes?
Yeah, well, this was a long time ago. It might be faster now. But, so the thought of being buried up to my neck and not being able to move, that's what freaks me out the most. It's
okay.
Just trapped and you can't move.
Let me ask you a question then. remember when he brings him to the beach and he has the option, like, you know, the hole is dug and he runs up there and he looks, you would have said, shoot me, yeah?
Me. I said this the other day. We were watching something because you know you're gonna fucking die. And he's not. This guy is crazy. He's not gonna let you go.
Well, maybe he doesn't know where he's going with it yet until he shows the video of the other.
He
shit.
doesn't know where he's going with
I mean,
it. He's like, get in there. But and he's like, then he goes, then you forced me to shoot you, Harry. You know,
it's like in Seven where the big fat guy that's eating all the spaghetti, and they notice that he has a gun print on the back of his neck, from where the guy was pressing a gun into the back of his head, forcing him to eat. I'd have been like, fucking shoot me, dude. You know, because it was in that situation, he had eaten so much that he vomited and then kept eating. Like, shoot me. You know, never am I ever going to let anyone in the position where I would let them, like in American History X, where he's about to curb stomp the guy, and he tells the guy to put his mouth on the curb.
Yeah, why would you do that?
No, fuck you, shoot me.
Yep.
You know, just I'm not. No, I am not putting myself in a position where I can die in a more painful way when you're threatening to shoot me if I don't. Just shoot me.
Do people really curb stomp people?
Yeah, I think so. I mean,
not
that
to
was
death, I don't think, but I don't know.
Yeah, but who would bite the curb?
Oh, that's what I'm saying. Every time I watch that, and that's another thing, and now I'm repeating myself, but teeth. I have dreams about my teeth falling out. And if I watch anything in a movie, I think I mentioned it on the show when we talked about The Fly, I fucking have issues with teeth and nails. Oh, man. So every time when I watch American History X, when he puts his teeth to that curb,
I hate it.
I fucking cringe. Oh, I can't even think about it.
You're making me think about it.
Okay, I'll make you laugh. How about when he says, and I do have the gun, don't I?
Yeah.
I just love him. He fucking cracks me up. Everything that comes out of his mouth, I laugh. Like I said before, and Alex disagrees. He doesn't disagree, but I don't think you're talking about me. I think you're talking about other people. But I laughed through the first half of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I always have. Franklin cracks me. Everything that Franklin says makes me laugh.
No, I agree that. Yeah,
I always have. He's so. Some people think he's annoying as fuck. I find it annoying but hysterical. So I laugh. It's the same thing in this movie. Everything that fucking Leslie Nielsen says almost. It's like I'm watching him in Naked Gun or Airplane. I'm laughing. And maybe because it's like...
You think it's Naked Gun?
You know, that's what I feel like, because it's him. But it's like... maybe because it's him, I don't know. But I just think it's his delivery of the lines. It's just... He's just so fucking nonchalant.
What do you guys think about a guy who's so known for comedy doing a villain?
Well, he started out as a villain.
Oh, did he? Oh.
Right, Jamie? You know this.
Sense.
Yeah, when he used to do horror before he did comedy.
Oh.
Don't you remember? Yeah, he was in like fucking
he did.
Animals, or what was that one?
Day of the Animals. Yeah. Where he was but that was let's see.
That was before this. This is 83.
Yeah.
And Prom Night, he did Prom Night.
Yeah.
A serious role.
Yeah, in Day of the Animals, he was like a rapist. Like he was, and then he ended up wrestling a fucking bear shirtless, which was the most awesome scene ever.
Well, where do you guys think his strong suit is? Comedy or villain?
I think he can do it all. I mean, he has amazing comedic timing, so he can pull off anything as far as comedy goes, and we've seen that. But he also has the ability to be a real fucking asshole.
Yeah, just like most funny people. So
that's true.
He's in. Okay, so these people, both of them drowned, the cheating couple, and he's just gonna watch videotapes or something. And I couldn't even tell if any of them were labeled. I don't even know what he knew he was picking out or whatever. In my memory, it's just a bunch of blank tapes. There's no label on any of them for some reason. I don't know if maybe there is.
There's a white label. I just probably has something written in pen. You know, you just
yeah,
can't
real
see it.
small. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I used to have ones like that, especially the pornos. That does have a 1 here or 2. You know,
Yeah, I would
what they
always
were.
code my porno. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I used to take those stickers. Remember when you used to buy blank videotapes and they would come with that sleeve that nobody ever used? I mean, you had to use the 1 to put on your tape to label it. Then it would have a bunch of numbers and some other things.
Yeah, remember the numbers?
Yes, I used to use those numbers to code my pornos.
I actually used to use the one that goes on the top of the tape, and I used to actually write stuff on there just because it was there. I figured it would actually look more whatever.
Oh, you didn't write on the other end?
Both. Probably both. I don't know why.
I have always been a stickler. I used every single label for something. Like, I can't let things go unused. It bothers me if things are wasted.
Oh, perfect. Because I have a penis that is sitting around.
I remember I was at a friend's house one time. I was spending the night at a friend's house because we were going to go to a concert. And that morning, before we went to the concert, he had to go over to his mom's house to mow her lawn. And so I was just hanging out at his house while he went to do that. Well, you know, watch a movie or something, make yourself at home. So he had a copy of Ice Pirates. And I love
You mean
Ice
Pirates.
No, it was no Ice Pirates. I mean, but as it turns out, it was not Ice Pirates. And I was like, what the hell? And it was just like a random porn. Like, it wasn't even Ice Pirates or something. It was just a random porn. And so I was like, what the hell? So he got home and I was like, he's like, have you never seen Ice Pirates? It's so funny. It's a comedy. And
It's funny.
It's like a sci-fi comedy. And so anyway, he came home and he's like, what'd you do? And I'm like, well, I thought I was going to watch Ice Pirates. And he's like, oh yeah, no. I have to misname my porn because my brother,
let's watch a horrible...
He was hiding it from his little brother.
Yeah, I'm going to name it a horrible comedy that my brother will never watch.
That happened to me.
Yeah, I have like 40 pornos named Cabin Boy.
I fucked up, and I didn't label it one time. And I was living in Vegas with this guy and his sister. They were a brother and sister, and I met them through a friend here, and I was living with them. I was renting a room at their house. You know, and I got to know them. And we were watching something one day. I think it was around the holidays. And I said, we started talking about South Park. I said, I have the South Park Christmas special on video. And they said, go get it, watch it. So I went in there, and I fucking come back, and I grabbed the wrong tape. I did the thing with the numbers wrong. I don't know how it happened, but I put the tape in, and I pressed play. And it was a porno, and it wasn't just any porno.
What part was it at?
It was this chick laying down outside getting gangbanged by like 12 guys.
Ew, you're gross, dude. Was it Kelly?
No, I was before I knew her, I think.
What's her name?
It was Nikki Sterling, the gangbang girl. I watched it a lot. Anyway.
Wait. Who's the girl you like? Kelly what? Stickler?
Kelly Stafford.
Oh, Stafford.
Yeah. Anyway, so I put the tape in and I pressed play, and as soon as I did, Eddie, the guy that lived there, he goes, Dave, we got porn. He's a real comic kid. I was like, oh shit, I had to eject it.
Yeah, he had ejaculated.
I was just embarrassed as fuck because there was a woman there, you know? Oh my god. I forgot about that till just now. Dave, we got porn. He's like, oh no.
Ground control to Major Dave. We have a problem. Okay, so
showtime!
Yeah, it's not a problem. It's a solution to my day. So he thought Wentworth and the chick were alive. What do you think about that?
He thought
he
they were
automatically assumed they were alive as soon as somebody was. Like, I forgot what it was, like signs of somebody being in his house to some degree. He thought it was them. Like, why would you think it's them? Like, and I'm not even trying to pick this apart, but I was sitting there and I'm saying, like, why would he say, Wentworth, you're going to get it. You better just get out of here. Like, I tried to kill you, but you better not. I'm not, you better just get out of here before I get mad about you being mad about me trying to kill you.
Let me remind you, dear boy, I have the gun.
Yeah, remember that gun I made you dig yourself a shallow grave with? I still have it. I never fired into your head, if you remember.
You know what I think? I honestly think that he was bugged out because he went down there. Like that scene we talked about earlier. Is like got him, and he was a little bit bugged. And by the way, that shot is, I love that part when they go and they play that music. Woo, and they put that fucking thing up. Oh man, the soundtrack. Anyway, I just think he's a little bit nervous about that. And then he's there and he hears it, like, who else would it be? Because he doesn't say it right away. He's like, who's there? Who's there? And then he's like, Wentworth. You know, it's just the first person to think off the top of his head because...
Hey, who else would visit him?
Right, who else would come into his house to sneak in? And how can anybody even sneak in? That's the thing. He's got all this fucking shit all and you could see it on the fucking thing, but they can because of what they are. But they come in and you see that smoke coming in, and even the fucking fish get scared. They show that little scene.
Now, okay, what do you guys think about that? So basically, they come in as like gill monsters. Oh yeah, did you ever notice that everyone in this movie has the same voice? Like the voice Stephen King had when he was under the green shit, and then these people, it's all like.
We just talked about it. Yeah, it's the same voice that you did for Father's Day.
Oh, did I already talk about that? Oh, sorry guys, we're recording this on different days.
They have one effect. They have one effect, and that's it.
For everybody. Every altered voice is exactly the same.
It is those three, though. You're 100% right. Just those three. I don't know why. But yeah.
It's so funny. So they come in as like fish monsters or something. Like, I don't know. I guess they look like over waterlogged and all that. So
I think they look fantastic. I love the makeup.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
Savini. Oh.
What are they? Because...
They're drowned. They're just monsters.
But are they ghosts? Because he closes the door and turns around and they're on the other side of the door now.
They're ghosts, and I love that scene. Every time I see it, it gets me. Oh,
so what does that mean? That they're not fleshed out?
They're ghosts. Straight up. That's what I think it is. I don't know. Jamie, you think something different? I mean, what else could it be? At least.
Yeah, well, yeah, they're definitely supernatural. Maybe like, I don't know, maybe a revenant. You know, that they come back strictly for revenge.
All right, dumb it down, Jamie. Dumb it down. I mean, the only word I know close to that is irrelevant, and it can't be irrelevant.
That ain't it. No.
Yeah, they might kill him.
No, that they, they came back strictly for revenge. You know, that's the whole reason they're there. So.
All right.
Yeah.
They're just ghosts. Okay, they're ghosts that could kill you still, right? So.
Yeah, you know, ever since American Horror Story, my view of ghosts has radically changed because of the way they use ghosts in those shows. So it's like, to me, anything could be a ghost now.
I'm a ghost, you motherfucker. I'm a ghost, you shit.
Ghost.
Hey, guys, if you want to be cool and you're about to kill somebody, tell them you're going to ghost them.
All right.
I'm a ghost, you motherfucker.
Next chance I get. You know what's funny? I think that fucking Ted Danson looks just like Slash when he comes back.
Yeah, he does.
I'm telling you.
I always thought they kind of reminded me of zombies.
Mm-hmm.
Just in the way that
the
way that they walked, the way that they looked, the way that they, were mobile and all. But I would say, if I had to pinpoint it, I would say Revenant. That's what I would call him, Revenant. Which is a ghost or animated corpse that comes back specifically usually for revenge, I guess, to terrorize.
So the crow was Revenant.
Yes.
There you go.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think Ted Danson shoots him in the head, nothing works, and water leaks out of their heads, and then does he do the classic move where he just throws a gun at them?
He does throw the gun at one time, yeah. At one point he does.
Yeah.
He shoots him in the head.
Oh no, for some reason in my notes I wrote, headshots don't work, let me try arm. What does that mean?
Arm? Does he grab their arm? I don't think so. No, I don't know.
Let me try arm.
Yeah, I don't know.
Does he then shoot them in the arm?
Yeah, the headshots. He shoots him in the head and just water leaks out of it, so the next shot is on Ted Danson's arm. And I'm like, what are you doing, dude?
He's panicking is what he's doing.
Yeah, right?
You know what I love, too? That bullet wound when he shoots him in the head and then immediately it just leaks out. You know, there's something about that. There's something about that has stuck with me. And Dave, I think you're right here with me as far as this whole movie goes, that there are specific things about it that just stick with you. And like every time you see him, it's like going home, or it's like it's I don't know. But every time, like I know it's coming, and then pretty much this whole movie, like I know what's coming, and so then when it does come, it makes me happy. So like whenever he shoots him in the head, I just wait for that pop, and then the as it comes pouring out. And I never thought it made a whole lot of sense for it to be that watery, but I was just like, what? I don't care. I love it.
We're supposed to figure that he's totally waterlogged. And
I mean, maybe.
That you can't hurt him. That's the bottom line. You can shoot all you want. And I mean, they could have just shot him and there would have been no reaction, and that would have kind of sucked. Where this, the point is still driven. You can't fucking stop him. So let's at least have a cool thing happen and have fucking green.
So we'll shoot him in the arm then.
Aside from that.
Well, guys, if you really want to see a true horror movie with Ted Danson, I heard they have a homemade porno with him and Whoopi Goldberg. So, if you guys can get a hold of that, I guarantee you that this does not hold a candle to it.
If you could just hold your breath.
Yeah.
It's showtime. I fucking
He was holding his breath between her legs,
hold your breath.
Yeah.
Hold your breath.
If you could come with us to the beach.
Yeah.
Great. And Leslie cracking the fuck up.
Yeah, how about that?
He's like half laughing, half crying, and they're showing that trippy ass background.
He becomes a Mad Hatter.
Oh, it's awesome. God.
Yeah, and look at him coming up.
Breath for a long time.
Yeah, right? He says, "Oh, I'm good, man. I can do this shit."
And he's laughing still. For a long. He just fucking flipped his lid, man.
And I love how it ends with us not knowing if he really could hold it to the...
I love the look on his face when the water actually goes over it, and he's like, "Oh," like
he's like, "Oh shit, I forgot."
Yeah, his eyes move. It's like, bow, bow, bow. Fucking soundtrack's awesome. Oh god.
Well, what are we doing here?
I'm doing a 5.
Oh god, you guys really love this, huh?
I love it.
Yeah, 5 for sure. It's my favorite fucking
Both
one.
of you?
It's my favorite one out of all of them. It's my favorite fucking Creepshow segment, period.
All right, I'll give it a 4.5 out of 5.
Oh, nothing wrong with that. Shit.
Yeah. So the next one is called, the next story in Creepshow is called The Crate. Now, this is a big one because you have like a very popular actress among horror fans, namely John Carpenter and stuff like that. And you also have a guy who's famous, an old guy, who eventually appeared in Sons of Anarchy as Gemma's father. So Adrienne Barbeau plays this classic, obnoxious drunk named Billy.
It's me, Billy.
Billy. She's obnoxious. Like, it's classically abusive. Jamie, what's it called when you make a man not feel like a man? Is that emasculating?
Emasculating,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
He's henpecked. That's me, basically.
That's what you do to Brian?
Don't say that.
No, not at all.
Oh,
no,
God.
you're kidding.
Oh.
No, he'd smack me. No, he wouldn't.
He'd want to, but he wouldn't.
He'd want to.
I've been there. I know.
I walk around with all my jangly jewelry and my glass of bourbon.
Hey.
Brian!
I told him we ought to get laid.
Yeah, I like how she almost sympathizes. Like, she even... Like, there's one point where she says, "What would you do without me?" And then, I forgot what the lead-in was, but she eventually says something like, "I wouldn't be able to be without you either." Like,
she goes, and it is weird. He says,
Yeah.
"What would you do without me?" And he's like, "I don't know." And then she goes, "Well, on that we're even. Enjoy your chess."
yeah. Like,
But
she
she
acts
says,
like, yeah, like, she
on
acts
that
like...
we're even. For 1 second, she gives it back to him. Then half a second later, she gives him a fucking look. Enjoy your chess,
Yeah, she
Well,
has
no,
to.
I think she means they're even in that she doesn't know what he would do without her.
Yeah, right, maybe. I took it like Dave did, actually, but I don't... What do I know,
No, I don't know. I actually thought there was a softness in her voice when she said that too. And
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
So the point of this, besides her captivating performance, is that there's a janitor in a college who finds a crate.
What an asshole. All because of a fucking coin flip, because he didn't know whether to fucking mop or do the fucking windows next. All this shit happens.
Yeah. This is the most illogical thing on the planet. It's mucho illogical, Pancho. This is mucho illogical.
Foreshadow.
Yeah, foreshadowing of our
Nice.
duration of the show. They find a crate from 1834 under stairs in a college. There's a Yeti of sorts in there. There's an abominable snowman or something. You know, like something like a Bigfoot inside, right? I mean, and here's the weird thing, because when this thing attacks somebody at the end, there's almost like no legs to this thing. Like, if you really look, where are its legs? Like, I don't even know what this thing is.
He's short, but he has long arms.
Right.
It's Fluffy.
It is
That's what this
Fluffy.
thing is. He's Fluffy. That's his name.
Yeah, it's like it's a Yeti of some kind. And here's the thing that is so stupid.
What?
Even if it was there for a week, it would have died. Why say, well, let's just make it 1834? That's 150 fucking years ago that this thing has been sitting in a crate with no food, no toilet bowl, nothing. It just sits in a crate. How could it ever, by any stretch of the imagination, be alive? I don't even know what we're watching here.
What? He's from another world. Why do you want to... He's in hibernation. Why does it matter? It's a monster story.
Hibernation for 150 years, and yet
Why not?
he could come out and just fill up on people in an instant.
Well, after 150 years, wouldn't you be fucking hungry?
My stomach would be the size of a marble. I wouldn't be able to eat.
Yeah, but you're not a monster. This is like
that's
a
subjective.
comic. That's true. That's Tiffany.
Yeah, he's been drinking his own saliva for 150 years, and that's about it. And
Or his own pee, since he doesn't have a toilet bowl.
Right, he just like lays back and pees into it. It streams
I've
into his mouth.
seen monkeys do it.
Yeah, right. Yeah, they have. I've seen that too.
He's hibernating, or he's just dormant. He's out. I mean, it's the same thing, I guess. But I mean,
I think you're right, Dave, in that it's a monster movie. It doesn't matter. I mean, we don't need to. It doesn't.
Wow, look at you two ganging up on me.
it's a comic.
No, it's just.
If you were to read the comic books back in the days, this is what these are. They're just that not everything is explained. I mean, a guy just turned into fucking weeds because a meteor fucking hit the ground, and a guy came up from the grave for no reason.
Well, that makes sense. It was Father's Day.
Look at the blob, not the blob. Look at the fucking raft in part 2. I mean, you can pick that apart. It's there.
Oh,
Who
that
cares?
makes total sense.
Don't
It's a
look at that.
monster.
We're not there yet.
It's a being. I know we're foreshadowing again. But
Total sense.
it's a
Pancho.
being.
Hey, listen, Pancho. That makes total sense.
Poncho.
Christ.
Oh, fuck.
All right. So,
I don't know.
yeah, somehow it's a lie. Okay, we'll gloss over that glaring omission.
Hey.
But this janitor just opens it, puts his arm in, and he's dead.
Looks like a couple of animals, he says. Why would he say that? He goes, looks like a couple of animals, and then he reaches his hand in. Why the fuck would you put your hand in?
Well, it's just like, why would the old guy always poke things with a stick? You know, it's like whenever you find anything that falls from outer space, people always have to poke it with a stick. I don't understand.
Well, it's safe.
I don't want to touch anything or get near anything that I don't know what it is.
Yeah, but you know, the curiosity killed the cat, Jamie. Oh, yeah, and you know about cats, so let's not play stupid here.
That's true.
Because you have 57 of them.
Mm-hmm. No, I'm 57. I have 18 cats.
Oh, I'm sorry.
She remembered at least.
Yeah, I got a master's in business from an Ivy League school. Why? Because I worked my ass off for it, and I put my nose to the grindstone.
Oh God, I'm losing it already. It's been a year since I talked to Vince, and you know, we did that show a year ago, and didn't he say that now I'm gonna really start getting serious about this? I didn't put any effort into it in 4.5 years, but now it's 5.5 years.
Stay tuned. Stay tuned. Big plans are coming.
We're still waiting for him to put effort into podcasts.
It's like waiting for when Axl Rose was going to put out Chinese Democracy. He was like, "You guys just wait. It'll be like fucking 9 years or some shit.
It'll be just like that.
Hey, did you guys notice that they introduced the couple as Tabitha and Richard in the beginning? The couple with fucking, when they introduced the people there at the party to Billy.
Those names are very familiar to me, but I forgot why.
Tabitha is Stephen King's wife's name.
Yes, and continue on. It's the same connection.
And Richard Bachman, I assume.
And she sucks on Richard Head.
I knew Jake would get it. Nice. Richard Bachman, yeah, instead of saying Stephen, And you notice that when she says, whatever that etiquette crotch's name is, when she's talking...
Oh, yeah, she was supposed to say cunt.
Yes, because that's what I was going to say. Doesn't it look like she says cunt in the ADR?
Yeah, she was supposed to, and they did ADR it because they didn't want... They thought it would piss people off.
Okay, what? What did I miss?
Isn't that weird?
When she calls her an etiquette Emily Post, when she refers to her, whatever that etiquette crotch's name is, she actually said, "Wow, etiquette cunt."
Yeah, you can see it. Yeah.
Yeah, and they ADR'd the line crotch. I don't even think it was Adrienne Barbeau. I think it was somebody else who supplied the additional voice for that. But
oh, really?
But they didn't want people to piss people off, so they.
Oh yeah, don't do that while you're eating people.
A fucking horror movie. You can't see word.
While you're drowning women in oceans and burying them neck deep, don't piss people off with cunt.
And how about Jay Carpenter on the box? And this is Antarctica. A throwback to The Thing, which is what being filmed like at the scene. Yeah, at least that's what I took from it. I don't know.
Oh no, absolutely right. Absolutely.
So
okay, so this Yeti kills the janitor, but before that happens, he calls... Yeah, I don't know what it is.
That's funny.
A monster, okay.
Yeah, whatever.
Or as Jamie would say, the creature.
Have you ever seen a movie or anything in life where blood actually caused fucking an electrical explosion instead of water?
No.
Because that happens in the crate. When the janitor gets killed, his blood fucking falls down the side of the thing, and it goes where the outlets are, and when the blood connects with the outlets blow, as if it was water.
Really? I didn't even notice that.
I notice it every time. It's ridiculous. I don't know what are they trying to prove when they do that. I don't know. I had to bring it up. I figured, Alex, you would have definitely noticed it.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. It's weird. It's weird what I notice. I don't...
Yeah.
There's no rhyme or reason to it.
I don't know, but I've always thought... Jamie, did you ever check that out?
I don't think I ever paid attention.
Wow.
It's actually cool. I like that. I really think that's cool.
Yeah, I have no problem with it. I just find it,
Yeah, I never thought about it, but that's a great idea. Okay, so the janitor, when he discovers this monster inside this crate, the first guy he calls is the abused husband of Adrienne Barbeau. So,
No, wait, you got it backwards. The janitor calls his friend, and then when his friend goes and the shit happens, he calls his friend, who is... Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because his friend is the professor.
Yeah, so stupid. All right. Well, the reason why in my notes all I write is main guy tells... Oh, I did write it. I did write it the right way. I just read it wrong. Like Dave said, I read it like I'm doing names of people. I said the main guy tells Billy's husband he whips up the idea to get to go there and clean up the blood and get his wife over there. Okay, so that's exactly what happens. I don't even know how to read my own notes. Now, I'm going to say this is a little flawed, too. And I hate to do this, because I know you guys just love the movie, but because I don't love it like you do, I guess I see it a little different, more objectively. Yeah, I get the idea that it's a great idea to, get rid of your wife in a way that has nothing to do... They can't be traced back to you, basically. But... if you're gonna go through all this just to have her eaten by a Yeti and then just okay, here's the thing, when he threw them in the ocean at the end, why? That seems like enough effort that you might as well just kill her and burn her up in a furnace and just get rid of her that way. You could just kill her in your house and just burn her up.
Yeah, but that's murder. He doesn't want to fucking do that. This can't lead back to him.
Yeah, but how could it if he just burned her up, she's ashes, and he threw that into the ocean? Or
if
whatever.
It was that easy, you know how many men would have killed their wives that way?
Yeah, but it sort of is that easy. You say, honey, can you help me in the basement? She comes down, you hit her in the head with a hammer, and then you push her in a furnace. You burn her up till she's ashes. You put her in a little bag, and you dump her. You let it fly into the ocean, and it's gone.
Alex has clearly thought of this.
I thought of it after watching this.
You have a basement at your new house, Alex? A big one?
Believe it or not, no, there is no basement in this house.
Oh, okay.
But why go through all this? It just seems like pointless if you're just going to dump her in the ocean anyway.
Okay, 2 things. Number 1, DNA and all the evidence that can come up. Number 2, the only reason he kills his wife, that was just a bonus for this whole situation. His plan wasn't, I'm going to kill my wife. This plan was, I'm going to help my friend. Well, hold on. His plan was, I'm going to help my friend because he called me delirious and all this other shit. Let me go to this place and clean it up and see what the fuck he's talking about. Then when he gets there, he gets the idea to kill 2 birds at 1 stone. He's like, you know what? Fuck that bitch. This thing keeps eating and eating. Here's my chance. But it wasn't like, you know what I mean? That isn't the whole, what this whole story's about. He also wants to stop the monster as well.
No, I don't. Jamie, do you get that? I get that he cleaned the whole place so that she couldn't tell something's wrong while she walked into the trap.
I got that too, but I'm just saying he has 2 end games. Number 1 is to get rid of the monster. He has to put an end to it by drowning it.
Oh.
What do you mean? Oh, how would you destroy it?
I think he only went that far because her body was in his stomach.
I don't know. I think it had nothing to do with the other. I just think he was going to get rid of it anyway. Jamie, what do you think?
I don't know. Well, I do think that initially the reason he went there was to help his friend and all of that. And then he just came up with the idea to go ahead and get rid of his wife at the same time, because it was convenient. But I don't know why he didn't just why not just let it eat her and then call the authorities and be like, look, we found this thing and it ate her. I wouldn't go to the trouble of getting rid of it at that point. I would have given it over to somebody else and been like, look, yeah, it ate my wife. Oh, so sorry.
Yeah, but then, what are you doing in this school? You're not supposed to be here. There's questions.
Well,
it's off season. He's not even supposed to be
because his friend called him for help.
Right. It's traceable.
And then what's his friend going to say? Why did he come here?
Because the janitor called him. I don't know.
Who wants to answer questions?
Dave, he's known as a pussy in society, so it wouldn't be radical for him to say, well, I was very nervous. I called my wife so she could see, I just wanted to see what's going on, and I got nervous, and I called her and told her something's wrong, and blah, blah, and then the thing ate her. What's the point of having this thing eat her if you're going to go through the same trouble that a normal guy would go through if he killed his wife? It just doesn't make any sense to dump her.
Well, that's true. He still then goes through all the trouble that you'd go through if he had killed her himself. He may have,
Yeah. It's just stupid. It doesn't make any sense.
He panicked. How about that? I mean, that's what do.
Yeah, that's true too.
You can just say that though, but we're talking about writers right now, and in reality, okay, somebody could panic and do something like that, but we're writing a story here that's supposed to be an elaborate, great idea. So if you're doing that, and you found a way to have some bizarre thing happen and get rid of your wife because a monster ate her, what are you doing covering it up as if you just shot her in the head and you're going to throw her in the ocean? What's the point?
What kind of writing is that? Would you want to see a movie where it ends and he calls the cops? Don't you think it's much better? It'd be a terrible ending to fucking... Think of, you said it's writing, this is writing. In order to have a good pop at the end, that's what you got to do. I threw it in the fucking water and then the thing cracks open. I mean... What a letdown that would be. Oh, I fed it to her. The next scene, you see fucking Henry on the phone. Hey, yeah, there's something going on. Can you go over here? And they go over there and they take it away and then the credits roll.
I see what you're saying.
It'd be anticlimactic,
Well, maybe the monster could have come out when the cops got there. I don't know.
I don't know. I think it still would have been good because as the cops are taking him away, then you've got Henry with this sly look on his face because he knows he fed his bitch of a wife to that creature. So he's getting away with murder, basically. I don't know. I would have liked it. But I was just watching. Do you ever watch Rob Dyke on YouTube?
Is he a gay girl?
Never heard of him.
Oh, he does. No, he does Seriously Strange and Twisted Tens and these are the shows that he does. One is in Serial Killer Files. Anyway, he talks about dark shit. And that's what his shows are about. And today I was watching this show where he was talking about this guy who killed his neighbor. He was obsessed with her. And he killed his neighbor, and the dumbass got caught because he dismembered her in her bathtub. And then he cleaned it up, but that didn't matter because they got luminol in there and they saw all the blood. But the dumbass, the only reason he got busted is because he put her torso in a garbage bag and put it in the garbage on the curb. And I'm like, what the
Garbage
fuck?
day.
What the fuck?
Garbage day.
And get this, he got caught because the garbage smelled, and
shit.
it was because the garbage man was late picking up the garbage that day. If the garbage man had come when he was supposed to, he never would have gotten caught.
How late was this asshole? Was he?
And I'm like, well, that's what you get for relying on city workers. When you're, anyways, then they go into his apartment and they look at his Google searches. His last 5 Google searches were like nude. I forget her name, but it was the girl's name. He was looking to see if there were nude pictures of her online. Something like clearing out how to erase your browser history. Something about child porn. Something about getting rid of a body. I don't know. It was so, or dismembering. I don't know. Anyway, it was so dumb.
The weirdest one was nude photos of Whoopi Goldberg. That was the weirdest one.
What is wrong with you and Whoopi Goldberg?
Oh, God.
What did she do to you?
You could have nude photos of Whoopi Goldberg, throw them in a bottomless pit, and they would come back up at you. Reference.
Yeah, you know what, though? That makes for a great ending, though. He gets back and he tells the guy the story, and he's like, well, what happened? You know, even when he's pulling him up there, and he goes, you know, that story that he tells when he's about to drown him, he's like, at the end, I think that he knew. And then his hands came out, and they go back in. That was all good shit. And then when Dex is worried, but what's going to happen? But what about it? And then he's like, Dex.
Nothing. We have more time for chess, buddy.
Right, because if you could have seen the way it was in the water down there, you wouldn't be worried. Trust me. You know, and then they show him break out. It's a classic fucking comic ending.
It is. It is strictly comic, though, right?
Yeah, but this is a comic movie. I mean, this is what it's supposed to be. It's a perfect representation of what those comics were at one time. I mean, that's awesome. Shit.
Well, some cool things about this movie, Adrienne Barbeau drives Michael Myers' car to the college. That's Michael Myers' car.
That's Michael Myers' sister. What are you talking about? Are you serious? He has the fucking...
It's the same exact car, yeah.
Really? It's the same car that came from Haddonfield?
Yeah. Haddonfield Memorial Hospital, wherever... Or, what is it, Smith Grove or something?
Smith Grove Sanitarium, yeah.
It's that car.
Same make and model type thing?
I don't know. We'll have to ask Jonathan.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
One odd thing, it's really dated. To have this in this movie is bizarre. Did you guys notice the drink that Billy was making while she was on the phone with her husband and he was telling her, you have to come to the college? Did you notice there's something very bizarre about the drink she was making?
It was a Black Russian. I was going to ask you if that's what it was. Because he's drinking milk, and then all of a sudden she reaches over and she puts alcohol in it. So my question to you guys, I have written down here, was that a Black Russian she was drinking?
Well, it could have also been a Brandy Alexander, I think.
Okay.
And I thought that's what it was. And that's so old that, like, John Lennon used to drink that in the 70s. That was his drink. That's how old that is.
Yeah, well, it's a classic, you know. Drinks don't change. Like Black Russian, how long's that been around?
Yeah, if you ask somebody right now for a Brandy Alexander, they'll be like,
You think so? Like a bartender wouldn't know?
Me and my dad went to New York on like the 40th or 30th or something anniversary of John Lennon's death or whatever. So to commemorate it, and we were right at the spot where he got shot. And there's a bar nearby. My dad asked for a Brandy Alexander, and the guy had no idea what he was even talking about, had no idea how to make it, looked around and said, I don't have all this stuff or whatever.
Wow.
But yeah, it's that rare and that old. So if you ever want to just fuck with the bartender, walk in and ask for a Brandy Alexander.
Nice. Or a Screaming Viking.
Yeah. or a Barbeau special.
I just think she's a drunk and she was drinking milk and she just decided to fucking add alcohol to it. She didn't care what it was. She just saw a fucking bottle of booze and just put it in her milk.
Well, how about this? Do you think the husband is strange that he believed in this outrageous story enough to go along and go through it. Like, if you heard that a monster came out of a crate from a guy who seems delirious, runs in your house and tells you this crazy story, would you believe it enough to go through with doing this whole preparation in order to kill your wife based on this fucking, like, lunatic story? Like, wouldn't you go, come on, dude, are you fucking loaded right now? Like,
he was fucking delirious, too.
Right.
When he does that laugh.
I don't even know what it was. Guess he got his chance.
Yeah, you're going to buy this enough to go through with this whole elaborate scheme?
Well, it's his buddy. It isn't just a stranger off the street. It's his buddy that he talks to all the fucking time, like every day. And they hang out once a week, and they're you know what I mean? And he's always been sane to him. So, like, if you came to me that way, I would believe you. I'd say, Alex, you're fucking crazy. I wouldn't say that. I'd say, what, are you serious? You know, I'd know by your reaction. I just figure it's his buddy. He would know.
You would believe me if I told you this.
Yeah. Why wouldn't I believe you? I would see if you're on drugs.
Because Alex is prone to lying. That's why. just to get your reaction, he'll tell you anything.
I do say some stupid shit to get a reaction, but I don't think I'd make that up.
You're gonna get on a fucking plane and book it and come here just to run in my house and fucking and play a prank on me. I mean, if you did, good for you. I'd applaud you. Shit.
If I told you this and you wanted to get out of this thing with Irene, you would actually, just based on that, if I did the exact same thing he did, you would go there, mop all this shit up, clean it with ammonia, and set everything up just to get Irene to go there. Just go based on my story alone.
Only if.
I don't believe you would.
If the thought occurred to me to kill my wife, like if it was my first wife and I was there and I was cleaning up and the thought
You try anything. You say, okay, are you sure? Okay, I'll go.
That's what I'm saying. If I was in that situation and I was treated that way, the way I was and the way this guy is, I know if the thought popped into my head, I'm not saying it would pop into my head, but if it did, fuck, why not? You got nothing to lose. Especially at that case. What's going to happen? Like, even if he tried to kill her...
Yeah, but you see what he did do? He did try to kill her. Nothing happened.
Oh, that was great. Tell to call you Billy! Something I should have done a long time ago!
Yeah, luckily the goddamn thing comes out eventually, but...
Yeah, but that scene makes me crack up every time. When at the very end, he's like, he's in the beginning, he's like, you know, it's real dramatic. The music kicks in, he pushes her in the thing, he's talking shit, and he's shaking her, Billy, wake up, and he's doing all this shit. And then at the end, he's still shaking her arms. He's getting slower and slower with it. He's fucking running out of steam, and you can just like feel it. I laugh, but it's like you can feel fucking for this guy at that moment, like, oh fuck, now what? And then she gives him that whole speech. You're a real barnyard exhibit.
She never stops. Even to the last second of her life, she's putting this guy down.
And when he's trying to tell her about it, he's laughing because he knows he's going to kill her. And she's like, what's the matter with you? Your best friend gets in a scrape like this and you're laughing? And he's like, oh, just come over here. And he's trying not to laugh.
Yeah, he tells her like the guy who was trying to bang this young college chick. So it swallows her up, and like we said, he throws her in an ocean. The thing breaks out of the box at the last second, and then he somehow convinces a completely normal, rational guy that it's okay that I just killed my wife because now we have more time to hang out and waste time with playing chess. I mean, they should be doing something real like podcasting, but if they're going to waste their time with that stuff, I don't know what to tell you. So what do you rate this? Adrienne Barbeau puts it over a lot.
Yeah, she is great. It's all great. Savini's fucking work and the story, I think it's all great. Every bit of it is. The way they act, the fucking, oh man.
Okay, 4 out of 5 I give it.
I give this one a 4 too.
Yeah.
I give it a 5.
Oh my god.
It's awesome. Tell me what's wrong.
I had a 5 going in, but while we were talking about it, I decided, well, I don't know, maybe a 4. But I do love Adrienne Barbeau in this. And I love Hal Holbrook in this. I mean, they're really good. But I'd say, all right, 4.5. I'll split it down the middle, and I'll say 4.5.
How did he even get her? Like, how could that creepy looking... I mean, no offense to the guy. She's known as a hot chick. I mean, there are people who really...
Oh, yeah.
You know, yeah, Adrienne Barbeau...
It's her boobs.
It is. It's just a boob thing. Right.
Yeah, I'm not into her at all. Like,
No,
I could tell that she's something different than the average girl. I could tell.
Yeah.
You know, there's something about her and a lure of some kind. I'm not sexually attracted at all to her. To me, she'd be nothing than someone to be polite to and then never talk to again. But I can see how she stands out of a crowd. You know what I mean?
I like her in The Fog. We see when she has a good personality, it definitely affects. When she acts like this, it's kind of hard to.
Well, I kind of like this though. I think it's funny.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, the performance is great, and I think that this is probably most people's favorite chapter in this. I think.
Yeah, really?
I think so. Yeah, it's not mine, but yeah, I think if you asked everybody what their favorite chapter in this was, they'd say the crate. It seems like it's more universally loved. What do you think, Jamie?
I think you're probably right about that. It's my third favorite, but I think you're probably right. I think most people really, really, really like this one. A lot of that, I think, has to do with the creature effects and with Adrienne Barbeau.
Yeah, it's like I said, she stole the show.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
What, Dave? Did we get your rating? 5, right? You said.
Yeah. I love it. There's nothing wrong with it to me. There's other ones I like better. It's not my favorite.
I just gave you like 4 things wrong.
Yeah, but no. They don't.
No, you're gonna just gloss over that, huh? Good. I'm so glad.
I had an answer.
On
a little long. I mean, that's my only issue. Is I feel like it's a little longer than it needs to be. Like it's stretched out more than it needs to be. That's the only thing I see wrong with it, really.
It's weird. I've actually grown to love it over the years. When I was young, everybody, all my friends loved it, and I was just like, take it or leave it. And the older I get and the more times I've seen it, I've grown to love it. It's weird.
Yeah, you're relating to him more because you want to push one of your fucking wives in there. You know, you'll be amazed, everybody, how you'll eventually like this one.
Maybe you're onto something. I don't know.
Yeah, what's that first one's name? So maybe we can start making her like a daily joke. What's her name? The first one?
Who, Brandy?
Yeah, Brandy.
Oh, don't even get me started.
Brandy in the fucking crate.
I just got an email sent to me. I'm taking my daughter to a party tomorrow because her car's dead or something or other. So I'm taking her to a party with her school.
Yeah, you should say you should trade places with your car.
Right. No, but listen, for no reason I get an email from her and it says it's labeled party, and it says don't embarrass her tomorrow.
Fuck you.
Oh
yeah,
my God.
Yeah, you should say.
I would embarrass anybody.
Yeah, you should say, don't worry, I won't mention you to anybody.
She's the one that's always late.
How is she such a bitch?
It's crazy. She's one of those people that everything she says about me is exactly what she is, which is, I guess it means something, like psychopath or something, I don't know, but...
Sociopath.
I don't know what it is, but...
I don't understand how you ever got involved with somebody that bitchy. I mean, it just...
She was amazing for fucking 1 year, and then she got the DP shot for fucking, you know what that is?
The Depo-Provera shot?
Yes, and her whole fucking life changed ever since, and I didn't...
I said double penetration. What was it?
Depo-Provera.
And I'm not kidding you. Everything fucking changed about that person. Because
what does that mean? What does that mean?
Seriously.
It keeps you from getting pregnant. It suppresses your period for a short time, and the birth control thing, yeah.
And she changed?
Yes. 100%. There was never one problem until that shot came, and then everything changed.
Really?
Yeah, I know it sounds fucked up, but it's true.
That's so sad.
Yeah, it's weird. But anyway, whatever. There's other issues.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we gotta talk about like this, the roaches right now.
Yeah.
So we can't talk about something like that.
They're creeping up on you, man.
All right, so there's another famous dude, old guy.
E.G. Marshall. Awesome.
Yeah. He is best known for being in the movie called Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. I think, right? I mean, that's how I know him.
He's a character actor. He's all over the place. He's one of those.
He also played the father. You remember he was the father in that Christmas episode of Tales from the Dark Side that I made you guys watch?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. The Grimace.
The Grither. The
Grimace. Oh, yeah, what the fuck is Grimace?
The simpleton.
Yeah. Yes, he had. Can you believe that Grimace had 4 arms in order to more easily steal cheeseburgers?
And they changed him into a well-meaning simpleton. I love that shit.
He was an evil guy who stole hamburgers.
Well, then they have the cheeseburglar, so...
Hamburglar, yeah.
Hamburglar, that's right. I was upgrading him.
Yeah. It's like his fucking brother.
That'll be 40 cents extra.
He's a big purple just blob of something.
Well, I'm the Hamburglar. I hope one day to become the Cheeseburglar.
Jamie upgraded him.
I'm working my way up to bacon cheeseburglar.
Yep, that's my next promotion.
Jamie said he's moving on up to cheeseburglar. Holy shit. The cheeseburglar. Oh my god. The mayor of fucking...
The cheeseburglar breaks into your house and steals Roquefort and
What's that guy's name? The mayor? Mayor McCheese?
Mayor McCheese, yeah.
Like, what is all that? Are we supposed to think about this while we're eating? Like, what are we supposed to do with this information?
What about those nuggets? They made nuggets into characters, and like, how are you supposed to eat them now?
Yeah, they feel bad for him.
Yeah, that's what I thought when I was a kid.
Like, am I eating... Like, who am I eating here? So stupid.
And they even brought that big bird. Remember they had a chick that was a bird? What was her name? She flew around and...
Oh, the girl. She had like that pilot's hat
Yeah, she had
on.
goggles and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, was she?
So they had two things that were chickens. They had her in there, and then they had those nuggets that talked.
Right.
So like everything that has to do with nuggets, you'd be like, oh,
You're
man.
personalizing it.
I'm eating my friends. Right.
Stupid.
Indeed.
Well, here it didn't stop us any, right? There's like 80 billions and billions served. So nobody cared.
Nope.
So, all right. So this guy, Egg Marshall?
E.G. Marshall.
Oh. E.G. Marshall. I had to mess that up somehow.
That's awesome. Egg Marshall.
He's
awesome. Upton Pratt. The Upton Pratt.
Yeah, Upton. Upton right there tells you what he is. I mean,
I think his name was Upson.
Oh, Upson? No.
Upson Pratt. Yeah.
He lived in
a penthouse?
a penthouse
High-rise.
apartment. Yeah.
Yeah.
Something like that. And the whole thing was white. Like, so what you're supposed to get immediately is that this guy spends every waking hour thinking about germs and being sick. He even has this bizarre thing built into an apartment, which is insane, that sucks anything like garbage into like this thing so he never has to touch it or something.
I love that concept though, the germophobia, and he's got the money that he could actually do it.
Yeah, he has the money to go through with it, right?
Right. Which you could see that. Some fucking OCD germaphobe guy that was rich fucking would do that to himself.
Yeah, but it's a terrible life. He has like nothing, no TV, no furniture, no decorations. It's just white so that he could see anything that might be amiss.
That was actually a budgetary thing. In the
Yeah.
original story that this was based on, he had a really nice lavish apartment and with all the appointments and everything. But because they had budgetary concerns, they kept it very minimalist and all white for the movie. And that was the only reason that they did that, was to make it cheap. Well, because they spent, $250,000 on cockroaches?
The roaches themselves, right?
Right.
Yeah.
They were losing them. I heard that they were losing roaches in the other set because it was a darker set where the white you could see all the roaches.
Oh, well, there you go. That too.
So there might have been a few reasons, but thank goodness they changed it because that's the whole thing. I mean, it was the first thing Alex said. This guy's fucking locked himself in. It wouldn't have been anywhere near as cool if it was just some rich guy
It wouldn't have.
in a regular place. Then
Plus, this allows you to see the roaches too, the audience to see the roaches
Right.
too.
It's weird how that happens.
Makes it more impactful.
Worked out for the better. I'd love to see
that?
Stephen King's screenplay.
And
see
makes
what's
him seem more obscene in his eccentricities, because who the hell has an apartment like that?
Right. Like, who does that?
Right, it's $5,000 a month in 1983.
Is
Think
that what he
about
said?
that.
Is that what he said it was?
I think it was maybe 3,000, but definitely in the thousands.
Any thousand in 1983 is insane.
That's crazy. And I guess he's just obsessed with money, so that's all he cares about. He's just there, and he's fucking constantly watching his stocks all day and doing his shit. And that's it. He's obsessed with money. That's his only love, but he fears fucking germs to death.
Yeah,
So
to put
that's
it in a little bit of perspective, not much because it's completely opposite. I think opposite end of the country. I don't know. Isn't he like in Chicago or something? But in Three's Company, they had you remember their apartment? It was 2-bedroom.
Oh yeah.
Knock on my door.
Eat-in kitchen, like with a separate. It had its own door, really nice big living room, and it was near the beach. Right, $300 a month.
Wow.
I'd kill for that.
Holy fuck.
And that was early 80s. So so his apartment, by contrast, was about 10 times the rent of theirs, and that's insane.
Yeah, but you know what? I didn't get any size out of what I watched. I got more of. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what would be.
Well, no,
worth
I don't
that.
think it was all that big, and that just makes it worse.
Right, makes it more bizarre.
I think it's the gadgets. This is that he had that fucking room that he can seal himself in. That he had, maybe he had fucking a plane of glass that things couldn't get through, and it was probably just built a certain way. It might have even, like, for him, it was probably just like a what do you call it? A custom job.
Yeah. Maybe it was location, though, that would cause it to be that much money.
He's in the middle of the city, it looks like. Yeah. I don't know. That's crazy, though. But you got to think he leaves the place. He has to. I'm sure he goes to board meetings and shit like that.
I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe he does live his entire life in that thing.
It's so encapsulated that you don't even know. You know what I mean? It's so... And he keeps taking these weird phone calls. And he's clearly like a racist guy. He's like men of color or something. Like I don't even know. He's just. I guess he's just supposed to be the big asshole. And like some lady calls, her husband died, and he. I don't know.
He forced him out, and he didn't give a fuck. It was like a business. It was like a takeover.
Right.
And it was one of those things, and he caused the guy to lose fortunes, and the guy came home and killed himself, and the only thing he said was his name. So the wife found his name in the fucking book and called him to harass him.
And he was laughing about it.
Yeah, he didn't give a shit. He was happy because he's like, wow, now we won't have to pay him or give him a spot on the committee or something like that. He was happy about it, Yeah, he was all business. All he cared about is money, and he considered people like he considers bugs. Squash them. That was his whole fucking thing. Squash everybody because I'm this fucking rich businessman that's gonna. On the way up, I don't care who I squash, and I'm gonna squash any bug, and they're all the same. So it's typical. This whole movie, actually, if you think about it, Romero and King, two things they always do is paint ugly pictures of the rich. Almost always.
Oh, yeah.
They make elitist out of every one of them, and they do it clearly in this movie, and it's a staple.
And meanwhile, they're both rich.
Yeah, but they're still cool.
I don't know if Romero is. I mean, King for sure, but
but King supports causes. He's like fucking. Urging them to like go out and fucking crash Wall Street and shit like that. So he's rich, but he just he doesn't like most rich people, which I'd be the same way. What the fuck? If that's the way they are,
Yeah, I don't know.
I digress. I'm just saying.
He definitely has an issue with the elite. Which, I mean, I do too. Right. Yeah. But anyway, that's a theme that does recur quite a bit.
Yeah, both of them,
I got to tell you guys something about this one. This is my least favorite.
Ooh, because it scares you.
No, because it made me throw up.
Oh.
I think you talked about this on the show one time.
Yeah, I may have. When I was in college, there was a girl that lived on my hall, and she had never seen a lot of horror movies. So I was showing her various movies, and she was the one we watched in the same night. We were drinking. So we started drinking, and we watched Halloween. And so while we were watching Halloween, that scene where Michael Myers sits straight up, she goes, Michael Myers is the scariest guy ever. I mean, Halloween really scared her, which I thought was great. So then after Halloween, we decided to watch Creepshow. So I had been drinking for quite a while.
All right.
By the time we get to the end of this movie, and it gets to the part where he makes his cereal in the food processor, and then he starts eating it, and then he's like picking through it, and he sees pieces of roaches, and then he goes and dumps out the cereal box, and you see all the roaches come pouring out. I just lost my shit. I threw up right then. I was just like, nope. Because eating nasty things, I can't.
So you don't watch Fear Factor?
I actually had a really bad experience one time with a big, like one of those big fucking palmetto bugs in my mouth.
Wow.
And I thought I was going to die. I mean, that's how horrific it was. Like, because I had my drink. It was outside and I set my drink on a picnic table. And then I just came back and I was talking. I picked up my drink and started to drink it and I didn't pay attention to it. I just drank it. And then I felt something moving around in my mouth. And so I spit it back in the glass, and it was one of those big fucking bugs. And just like the bugs that were in this. And damn. I flipped out. Like I was just like, ah! I like brushed my teeth like 150 times. I was crying. I was running around the house. I didn't know what to do. Like I was so freaked out. I didn't know what to do. And that's just how badly it affects me, that just like the whole bug thing. And that whole cereal thing just put me right over the edge. And there was a time after that, for years after that, I would watch up until this story and then I would stop.
Stop it, right.
Wow. But technically you still think it's good. You just don't.
Oh, yeah, it is really good. And I guess, maybe it's better than it should be, or that I should think it. What? Maybe it's actually better because it affects me like it does. I don't know. But I don't know. It makes me, it grosses me out.
I wonder why they saved this one for the last one. That's really
well, probably because they knew that eventually I would get to the point where I would stop watching at that point.
They said, we want, this is back in the days of VHS, so we want Jamie to watch as much as possible. There's no chapter skip here, so. Okay, so.
It's perfect placement, though, as far as I'm concerned. This is the last,
I have a story, though, I told on the show, that my dad was, he was in a house, and they were like a poor family or whatever, and they had roaches, and he said the kid poured a box of cereal. And roaches came out of it. And the kid picked the roaches out of it and ate the cereal.
Oh, Oh.
Because it was a normal day of life for him. For us, for us that would be a moment we'd remember forever. For him, it was Tuesday.
Man.
It was pretty bad.
That's fucked up.
That's really sad.
Yeah.
I can't imagine. I mean, one time when I was a kid, we had just bought this loaf of bread. This is so gross. We had just bought this loaf of bread we had a local bakery that we would buy bread and stuff from. And so we bought this loaf of bread. I brought it home, and that day I went to make a peanut butter sandwich. So I opened up the bag. I mean, I was the first one to open the bag. I opened the bag. I pulled out a slice of bread. I made a sandwich, and then I ate most of it. And then I noticed that there was something. You know how like the crown of the bread at the top will kind of curl under, you know what I'm talking about, like on the side?
Yeah.
Okay. I noticed that there was something kind of sticking out of the crease right there.
Oh,
so
wow.
I opened it, and there was a roach leg in the crease of the bread.
Wow.
I was off bread for like 2 years after that. Like I couldn't, and peanut butter. I couldn't eat bread.
How much weight did you lose? On your no-carb diet.
And I was a skinny fucking little kid.
Jamie weighed 87 pounds. That guy's already eating bread again.
Oh, that shit sketches me out, man. Oh, damn. Listen, here's something. Oh, did you have more, Jamie? I'm sorry.
No, that was it. No, isn't that enough? Oh, Jesus.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, Jamie, did he eat any other bugs?
Listen to what happened to me. I moved to Vegas. What'd you say?
It's nothing.
I moved to Vegas.
You moved to Vegas? Oh, Jesus, stop right there. That's horrible.
I know. I wish I could move back. But when I moved to Vegas, I didn't know that there was
roaches?
They're prevalent in Las Vegas. I didn't know this. They're prevalent to the point that what roaches are in Vegas are what like spiders are here. If you see one in your house, it just happens from time to time, and it's not that big a deal. If you see a roach in your house where I live, you're infested, something's wrong. Right. Yeah, it's dirty, whatever. But roaches out there, it was weird. Like on the way there, I stopped at Arizona. I was pumping my gas.
Wait. Are you talking about the ones who gamble or the bug?
Them too. Mostly they call them fleas, but yeah, roaches will do it too.
I mean, that's true. It's like that in Florida, in Georgia. They're all. I mean, it just maybe it's the heat. I don't know.
It has something to do with the dry. I don't know, but it's not dry.
But it's like the big ones, like the big palmetto bugs.
Oh, that's different. Yeah, my wife told me about those palmetto bugs. Oh, fuck, gross. No, they have roaches in Vegas, and like if you don't spray your house every once a month, roaches will come in your house. So now I didn't know this. I bought a house without this knowledge because I only rented before and I wasn't even aware. I know that the bug guy will come in like once a month or whenever, but I didn't know it was roaches. I said it was spiders or scorpions. I didn't know. You know what I mean? So I bought this house and I move into this house. Now the previous owners, they didn't pay for their fucking last month's service. So I had no idea about any of this. So I'm sitting one day in my lazy boy, chilling out watching TV, and a fucking roach falls from the ceiling into my head. I fucking flipped. So I get up and I throw this thing. Then I find out that they're there and that they're in the house. And then long story short, yeah, that was crazy. But they came and they sprayed the house. I bought some shit, and the first time I sprayed my garage, all of a sudden I turned around and there was roaches coming down the fucking wall of my garage. It was crazy. It was like the blood coming down in fucking Amityville. Going down the wall. I'm telling you.
Wait. In the original or the good one?
The original. Actually, it
is the good one.
But, oh my God, it was crazy. And they were outside my house. I had landscaping, and they were crawling all over my rocks. It was like all over the place. They were running for their lives.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so if anyone they know. But if you ever move to fucking someplace like that, look into it. So yeah, everybody hates roaches, right?
Oh no, I love them. I would like to bed with them.
Bastards. He's great.
So there's not really much to tell here except that the roaches sort of overtake the place. I guess he doesn't I don't even know where they came from, honestly. I mean, there's like really nowhere from them to come from.
They come from everywhere. They're infested underneath the pipes, for Christ's sakes. They come out of the fucking pipes of your kitchen sink. Could you imagine that? And how many come out? And they come... Oh.
You know what really comes out of your pipes? Which it's really drains. You know what comes out of your drains, right? You know the most common thing?
Shit.
Spiders?
No. Those centipede. Silverfish, yeah.
Yeah.
I said shit. I was thinking about going out, like fucking, forget it, from the toilet or something.
This shit pipe is gross.
That's why pipes were invented, to get the shit out of your house.
Isn't that crazy that we shit in water? And like there are countries that can't even get water to drink.
Have you ever not shit in water?
Well, apparently it's not a thing in Britain, because I was watching a YouTube video the other day, and this guy is British, and he was talking about the Squatty Potty. I don't know if you guys know what that product is, but anyway, he was talking about that, and he was like, "What is it with Americans and having water in your toilet?" And I'm like, I can't imagine not having water in my toilet.
Oh yeah, what? What do they shit into?
I don't know. I mean, like, I don't know if it just is. What is it, like a hole? I mean, what do you do?
Not no liquid. It's like right there, like in a box.
Yeah, I can't imagine. Okay. I don't know. I've never been. I don't know. So I guess if there's anybody out there, tell us. I'd like to.
Have you guys ever shit in something that wasn't water, or no? Has it ever happened to you?
Like a porta potty or
something with no water in it. Though.
Well, I shit in a pizza box one time.
Or an outhouse.
I shit in a pizza box. Yeah, let's say you kidding me.
Why? What is it with you guys?
There was nothing else there. It was at Woodstock. And too long. They were disgusting. Fucking the most disgusting place I've ever been to was Woodstock. And I would not use those things to shit in. And we had pizza, and the tents were real close together, so I just went outside my tent and I took a shit. And I'll tell you what.
Delivery!
I could have. It was the worst smelling thing that's ever come out of my.
Steaming hot.
That's the weird thing. A lot of people won't know this because they don't do this. But if you shit or anything and you leave it in the open air for any amount of time, it smells so bad.
Never do it. Never.
Like, it's common sense. You would think that that's the case, but you never really know until it happens. Like, it is the worst smell ever, man.
Terrible. I can't believe it came from me. I felt embarrassed. I was like, oh my God, you're disgusting. I fucking felt terrible. I was like,
I shit a pizza box. I left it on some guy's front lawn.
You did?
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, you did it for fun. That's okay.
No. I did it. I was at work, and I work outdoors. And what happened was I went to lunch, and I got like 2 or 3 slices of pizza, and I said I wanted to go. So they gave me like a mini pizza box. You know, it's big enough, and it was big enough for like a personal pie, I guess, or something like that. So I just had the box, and I had to really go where I was or whatever. So I just shit in the box. I had napkins, I guess, that I wiped with, and then I didn't want it in my car, so I just like flung it out the window onto some guy's lawn.
Take it to a dumpster.
He didn't want to put it in his car. It smells terrible. It's like putting a dead body in your car. No fucking way, man. Trust me.
Jamie, I think it smelled so bad that the most immediate moment I can get it out of the car is like my only option, really. So I just threw it out. I just landed on a guy's lawn. Like, can you imagine the fucking poor homeowner who goes, why is there a pizza box on my lawn? And then he opens it and it's heavy, so he says, well, let me see what's inside.
Maybe he probably thought one of his neighbor's kids did it or something. He's like thinking somebody's got a vendetta against him. You shit on my house.
And check it out. When I was at Woodstock and I was walking, I had the pizza box in my hand and I had to dump it somewhere else. So, of course, I'm walking through crowds. It's Woodstock, of all things. People are saying, hey, can I have a slice of pizza? Coming up there.
He says, like, yeah, here, and run away.
Yeah, here, but it tastes like shit.
I was like wasted. I'm like, believe me, you don't want what's in there. I was telling her.
This is the shittiest pizza I ever had.
Oh my God.
Dude, you should have given it to somebody, dude. They were high enough that they would have eaten it, dude. That would have been so funny. Oh, God. Are we still talking about a movie? All right, yeah, so...
The roaches, yeah.
Yeah, roaches, yeah. So basically they overtake the guy's apartment, and this is a really cool ending, actually, because...
Great.
They overtake him. I forgot exactly how that ends, but...
You guys think the wife had something to do with it? Like she was a witch or something?
Oh, the widow one?
I hope you die!
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that shit, that's fucked up. Right as she said that happened, you know?
Yeah. Oh, okay, maybe, yeah.
I don't know, I'm just...
Yeah, no, yeah. So it happens, and I guess it fades to black or something, and the next thing you see is him sleeping or something, and then...
him dead.
Yeah, but it turns out he's dead, and the roaches like bust out of his his chest or something.
Everything,
or just his mouth. I forgot what it was. I feel like they broke skin.
His chest.
Yeah, his chest.
The top of his chest, right below like his throat. It cuts
right.
Off. First, you see blood coming from his his temple, and then you see a roach crawl out of his fucking mouth. A couple of them. Then he busts open. Oh my gosh. Dude, it was crazy. Oh, the whole time is so fucking terrible to watch because you're like, when he finds it mixed up in his cereal and shit, that's up.
Yeah.
But he's great. He commands the whole fucking performance. I love him. He's great in that role.
Well, you have to be because he's the only one there.
Yeah.
Really, I mean, for the majority of that episode.
That's true. It's just him and that guy. What's the matter? Bugs got your tongue?
What's wrong, you colored man?
Yeah, white. Yeah.
Man of color.
Oh, I was just wondering who he was talking to.
I was just wondering. I'm talking like Stephen Fitchett at this point.
Yeah, well, he was like humoring him. He's like, I didn't want to do that at all. Oh, that shit was great.
I'm just a dumb old black man who works with his hands. I work from the neck down because I'm black.
Yeah, he was totally...
Yeah, I can't think.
Totally fucking doing the shit because he knows he's a racist old bastard.
It's so racist.
He was a racist. He was just an asshole. That's all he was. He just had a fucked up view of the world.
Yeah, that's how he thinks. That's what he thinks of people.
Bastards. Yep.
So poor E.G. Marshall, the real guy, not the racist, he died in 1998. So he will not be able to listen to this review.
No, we'll dedicate it to him.
Is where I'm going with this. Yeah, so we'll dedicate it to him. So Creepshow 1, we're finished, guys. We actually, I know you're here already, and you're like, man, that flew by, even though the underwater one...
we didn't rate that one.
Oh, sorry.
No, we did not rate it.
Yes. Okay, wow, yeah, this is interesting, too, because Jamie is not exactly fonda about this one. So let's hear what Jamie thinks about... What's this one called, Dave?
They're creeping up on you.
They're creeping up on you, okay.
This one, I give it a 3. I mean, it's not that it's bad. It's just that I don't enjoy watching it because it grosses me out too much. So it's totally a personal thing.
Right. Do you think it's a high quality entry?
Oh, it is. And E.G. Marshall kills it, but it's not enjoyable to me because it's so gross. So,
But what you're saying is you like it, though. So you might have to go 2.
I think it's done well, but I don't like it.
Well, then you have to rate it a 2.
No. No.
It's too good to rate her 2. She can't have her personal feelings
I
affected
can't,
that much.
I can't go that low with it.
Well, you have to go neutral then. You have to give it a Dave washout, which is a cop-out 2.5.
Well, I'm going to go 3.
Okay, well then we're all going to assume you like it then, Jamie.
Okay, fine.
You should like it.
Jamie, so guys, Jamie likes this. All right, Dave, what do you give?
Hey, Jamie. Well, I love it, man. It's a 5. I fucking love it. I love everything about it. I love E.G. Marshall's performance.
I thought we got rid of Michael J.
The music. I'm sorry. I love this fucking movie in every installment. It's that damn good. You're not going to even find another chapter in another anthology that is good as this.
Wow.
Straight up. I think it's great. I mean, it's simple, but it's awesome, and it's fucking scary. It's horrific, the shit that happens. Those bugs, that makes anybody and everybody uneasy. It's just produced so well. The soundtrack, like everything else, like this movie as a whole, there's nothing, even the weak one is still good to me. And I can admit that the one with Stephen King is a weak one for certain reasons, but it's still done so well that I really have a fondness for it.
Yeah, I think it's Stephen King.
Your average is a 5 then? I mean, because did you rate every one of them a 5?
No, I rated that one a 4 with Stephen King.
Oh, okay.
With Jordy Verrill, I rated it a 4.
Jordy.
Yeah.
Yeah, because of Stephen King's performance.
No, just in general, it's just, I don't know.
I'm just kidding.
The whole tone of that one's a little different, but whatever. I gave that one.
My big phobia in life is bugs, actually. I am terrified of bugs. I always have these weird dreams sometimes where they're in my ears or up my nose, and I wake up like smacking at my face and stuff like that.
And Tiffany must not get any sleep at all, because either you're dreaming that you're drowning, so you wake up gasping for air, or you're dreaming that you've got bugs, so you wake up smacking at yourself.
So I rate this this is a good entry, and it's not boring. Even though it seems like it should be boring, a guy alone in his apartment and just talking, and a couple bugs come out and stuff. But
a couple.
Yeah, well, 1,000.
A couple thousand, yeah.
But I'm gonna give this. I really like it. No, I'm between like it and really like it. So 3.5. So this is a solid movie to me. This whole movie would probably get a 3.5 or a 4. I really like it. I can't ask you guys to memorize your stuff and do the math.
My average is 4.3.
Oh, you did do it. Okay, so I guess I can ask you. Okay, Dave. So you go ahead now. Oh, 5. Oh shit! Holy shit! This is hard.
Right. Basically, it's 24 divided by 5. So what are you gonna do?
Oh, right.
Round
yeah.
it,
So it's like
may as well round it to 5.
4.75 or something like that.
You know.
4.8.
4.8.
Yeah. So what's a 5? Because it's a fucking 5, man. Because it deserves it.
I give it a 10!
Hell yeah. I'll tell you what. It is... you know what it is to me? I mean, not to everybody, but to me personally, you have... there's slasher movies, and then there's Halloween, There's shark movies, and then there's Jaws. There's possession movies, and then there's The Exorcists, right?
Yeah.
There's anthologies, and then there's Creepshow. That's how I see it. That's the place it holds. And I can't understand why everybody doesn't feel it. I know a lot of people really like it, but I just think it's fucking... It's so original what they do. There's like no other movie like it. They try to replicate it. You can't do it. I mean, it's...
Oh, I think they did, and we'll talk about it.
Yeah, the soundtrack, the production value, how they go from comic to live action.
Well, here's the big
soundtrack,
question.
the lighting, that's the way this movie's lit is like no other. I mean, maybe Suspiria or fucking Blood and Black Lace or something, but it's amazing as a whole. It's just incredible to me. The performances by some of these actors, obviously I'm in love with this movie. So.
Well, it's funny you say that. I got the Blu-ray, and the Blu-ray is stunning.
Yeah.
You guys have to watch this on Blu-ray because the lighting and everything pops so well when you can actually see it in all of its clarity. It is incredible to watch on Blu-ray. So please get this movie on Blu-ray.
That's what I'm saying. There's nothing else like it. There's no other anthology. And you know what? Something else about it? It's the perfect length stories. This is a 2-hour movie, and it doesn't seem it to me. And it's just, the first 3 are short, and the last 2 are a little bit longer. And to me, it's paced perfectly. Like, they couldn't have a better opening and a better closing. It's like everything they did was like a puzzle pieces, and it just fits together perfectly. So, but you guys know this. It's in my top 10 movies, period. So.
Well, yeah. So, Jamie, what do you do you have any last words to say? Since, we cover things once usually, and then we're done with it, unless it has 13th in the title. So, so what do you want to say in your closing argument to Creepshow?
No, I pretty much agree with Dave here. I think this is the high watermark of anthology films. There really is nothing wrong with it, from the score to the look to the quality of stories to the acting. It's top notch. I'm
really torn in my closing thing I would say about it, because for some reason, I don't know what it is, part 2 always grabbed me a lot more than part 1. When I rediscovered horror in the year 99, 2000, which was like 16 years ago, I watched this, and I realized it was good and stuff like that, but I didn't really go to rewatch it a lot and things like that. But I've been more inclined and willing to, and made myself do it more ever since I met Dave. I met him actually, 10 years ago, but he never really talked about Creepshow too much. So I guess Dave, when you started more talking about it on the shows and stuff, right?
Yeah.
So when you started doing that, I probably watched it 5 times since then.
Wow.
Yeah, and you've only been podcasting for 2 years or 3 years?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So I've been watching it way more now, and now again for the show. And yeah, I have no complaints, and I like everything in it. Part 2 is probably more of a nostalgic thing at this point for me. I'll still say that if I was on a desert island, I'd probably take part 2. Believe it or not. It makes no sense when you really think about it, but I'd probably do that just because. That's just what you do when you have a certain attachment that's beyond a technical rating attachment. So, but this is great. I really like it. My overall rating is 4 out of 5, I guess. I'll whatever I said, I change it to 4 out of 5. I really like it. So that's Creepshow, and I'm glad we did it. One of Dave's favorite, one of Jamie's favorites, and a movie I really like. So that was Creepshow, and for the Creepshow retrospective, God, this is going to be the longest show on the planet. It is. This is going to be long, because we talked for 40 minutes just about the one where they're buried up in the sand.
It's a great return for the crew, for the new crew.